Evening. It is Thursday. You found us here, Texas Card House, Austin, for some TCH Live. Playing very special 2-5 no limit hold'em tonight is Mr. Anderson's Wild Ride, and it should live up to the claim for sure. And we've got a special guest here in the booth. He's got a career and a family. He also plays poker. He doesn't have a lot of time, but he found a few hours to spend with us. It's Slow Poker.
Hello, everyone.
Hello to you and hello to everyone in the chat. I'm Lahti, aka the New York Knit, with you once again for some TCH Live. Looks like we've got a $10 kilo bomb pot to get us going this evening. We've got people putting out their red chips. We've got Carly collecting them.
Make it quick.
And we'll have some cards going out shortly. How many of these bomb pots have you played, Slow Poker?
Can you tell?
I know you bring that up as if you don't know, but not many. And you tore me up on a bunch of them when I was visiting Austin.
Sorry about that.
You taught me the concept of getting quartered in all the ways, but I had to learn the hard way, and you taught me. So I played a few, but this is not my forte.
Hey, we all have to learn that lesson at some point. They're definitely bigger here in Texas than in a lot of other places around the country. These split pots get real tricky.
Well, if you hang out with me for a week,
So
tell me that now.
looks like we're still getting set to go here. So
Be double board or
I'm trying to
single
go the
board?
other way, but
yeah, 4 cards, 2 boards. I think we're the one stream in the country that's doing double board bomb pots. This awesome RF poker setup we have here at TCH Austin. All of you in the chat, great to see you. I see Ragnar RV, Poker Monkey, JTMNY, on a lot of our rights filing in. Be sure to hit Captain Under pairs as well. Be sure hit that like button on the way in. For those of you in the for those in the chat who don't know you, let's introduce you, Slow Poker. Tell them about yourself.
Oh, I make poker vlogs that are comedy meets mediocre poker. So check it out, Slow Poker on YouTube. Yeah, if you like average poker with comedy, then I'm your man.
And thankfully, the comedy is much better than the poker. But
Yeah,
we got a lot of
I'll take
people. We got a lot of like crushers who are just doing straight dry poker, and what you do is certainly unique within the space. I think it's really awesome. Yeah, after the
That's
show,
why I do it. I'm actually very good at poker. I just wanted to set myself apart, so I kind of dialed it back just so I could be different in the space.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, after the show, guys, go over to Slow Poker on YouTube, subscribe to his channel, binge his channel. You won't be disappointed. It's one of my favorites. I was really excited that I'd be doing the show with you tonight.
Yeah, I just have the money sitting in the middle.
I think we're finally getting the deck spread. I think it just took a moment to get everything set on our side this evening. Sorry for the slight delay. So, what else to fill time with? Hey, football season.
Well, I can tell if anyone doesn't know, if anyone's new to double board PLO bomb bots, I have a really great tip if you're brand new to them, which is that you could just use the opportunity to take a bathroom break. That's what I should have done instead of just gotten stacked over and over and over again and learned the hard way. But if you're new to it, you can stretch, you can, go smoke a cigarette if that's your thing, but you just don't have to play them. I know that sounds very, go gamble, but that's the way.
Like the bomb pots are optional, and there are definitely players who, your bomb pot, they run out for a smoke break. Maybe take a somewhat healthier break than a smoke break, though. Like hopefully you do something a bit healthier. Or maybe you just like to spectate and you get a free show and you don't get stacked.
There you go. Oh, I should say hi to I've got some slow poker heads in chat. So hey Graham, Wheelock, and hey Alan.
Oh God.
Alan, I never know to say your last name, but Alan P.
All right, no problem.
I think it's Pichatello. I learned how to say his name at one point in the early days of my doing this show. It's been a while, so I've forgotten, honestly, because I'm not that bright.
how do we know this shit?
It looks like everyone's got their 4 cards now.
I can't see what cards you have there.
Now we've got Huggy Poker on the table. Grant points that out.
Still
Pokemon
not showing.
points that out. That's another fun vlog to check out. Local vlogger. And here come the flops. We get a paired board on one flop. And we have a surprisingly similar second flop. We got the jack 7-6, and I want to have a jack and I want to have a 6 here. Let's see if anyone has something spicy. See an open ender on one side for Huggy. Makes it 40. You see we have equity calculations now. Aaron with the 6, the case 6, so he's got ace 6, and he's got the bottom end of the open enter. I think he's the one taker there. The jack's going to pair. 5 of diamonds comes in, so Huggy's 9-8 gets there on the bottom, and Aaron has a hammer lock on the top. Aaron still does have the straight draw on the bottom, so the percentage on the left is the top board. The percentage on the right is the bottom board. And Aaron will call another bet from Huggy. Aaron free rolling him right now. Aaron will definitely win half. He could potentially scoop if his straight gets there. It does not. Diamonds do get there. This could slow the action down. Looks like Huggy is going to go for about half pot. A little less than half pot. He does have the straight on the bottom. It is no longer the nuts with the diamonds coming in. Aaron gonna go for the pot. Feeling pretty good. He does have aces up on the bottom. Thinking maybe Huggy does not have him beat on the top. Perhaps trying to fold him off of a chop.
Not like that for Bronco.
Huggy being put to the test for almost all of his chips since he will fold.
I like the play.
It is really gross to call for half the pot, which is what he would have been doing there. He had absolutely none of that top board. And
I don't know who it was. Someone folded against Jack, which was a disciplined fold, but obviously hindsight.
Well, if you know you're going to turn gin, and there's only one jack left in the deck, yeah.
Should have known. You know what? Maybe think ahead next time.
Yeah, you just need to look into the future and see the jack coming. But that is always disappointing. Like, damn it, that's my card.
I gotta go around and give everyone a hug. I know. We're good.
Sounds like Caitlin has joined the table and has promised a hug.
Nice to meet you. I'm Caitlin. Hey,
We have one person hugging, and we have Huggy.
Huggy. My favorite
guess I need to
Tron
go a little bit.
impersonator. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, Caitlin? How are you?
Hey, Ethan. So good to see
I'll take a McGreen.
Baby, our house
He's breaking that pink. Yeah, pink head it was to the middle.
Anderson brought it.
Yeah, he's
So much flack
lowering
from
down.
Buffalo in my jacket.
Alan confirms that
People
I
have standard
did in
street.
fact remember how to say his last name.
Like, who's that guy? He didn't wear a jacket, didn't bring no $2 bills.
It's only been 2 minutes and I already forgot. So
I feel marginally smarter.
Marshall,
It was Pichatello.
Pichatello. Okay.
I have faith that y'all will get along. And if you
That's
don't,
I believe Yiddish. Pish is a Yiddish word for urine. So Alan, you're welcome.
I mean, I guess if everyone's adding on.
All right.
He didn't drive
I
2.5
don't
hours.
know. Gotta
get that white.
See,
Ragnar, right? Yeah, I think we would do a great job with these best hosts
measuring
and
contests tonight. I like my
one of our best ones. Yeah.
He's getting white chips.
All right. On to some Hold'em.
6 folds, 7 raised, 1 total.
Amsty with a little suited connector.
well, I mean,
Makes it 20. Mike not going to go duck hunting. Caitlin, go ahead and say it.
Ah, no, I didn't see any.
I didn't.
Okay, AK.
Oh, me. You're talking to me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Okay,
trying
okay. Okay, okay.
Makes it $70. Downhill with these teams. Hole number one, the eight of spades, eight of hearts. Is gonna try and find himself another eight.
This happened in Texas more than
Anderson
any
with jacks.
other place. The cold call. Cold calls in the field
Anderson
is
makes
like
it
a Texas
250 with
thing.
the jacks. Potential fireworks. Let's see if Caitlin goes for the 4-bet or the call. Looks like she does decide to just call. As this downhill, we go three ways to a flop. 770 in the middle at 2-5. Going to the flop. Queen 10-3. Nobody loves this flop. Anderson ahead, second pair, and backdoors. Caitlin does have the gut shot. And he continues
That
with
thing Anderson doesn't want to see.
What?
It'd probably be a three-way chop, and then, three-way won't
That'd be hilarious.
Caitlin gonna call. Holding the nut note pair.
Nobody sensors are so far out. There really should be some.
Downhill does release the eights. We
Well,
go to a
because
turn.
that
Anderson does
spicy.
not want to hit a set here.
They put him far enough out to where
He does not. The queen is going to pair. You should feel pretty good about this turn.
Well, if you get enough reds, it's gonna happen.
I just do stacks of 15.
Less likely Caitlin holds a queen.
Four is one.
The plays where we normally play, they kind of ban us from having two.
Anderson does move all in
One four.
for 550 effective. Caitlin does fold. So, right out of the gate, Anderson, he makes our lineup, and then he
I thought I had a nice little
goes and
starting
takes their
hand.
money.
So y'all bananas. Huh?
Funny how that
Pocket
works.
jacks. Everybody knows it. Can't win.
Yeah, he just found a way.
What's
Impossible.
the big stack now?
I know.
CGI.
That's not how that goes. I mean, we have the battle of cursed hands, though. We have jacks, we have ace king. What would you rather have?
2,200.
Personally,
I would like to add on.
I'm
Yeah,
just folding both pre-flop.
One
Holding both pre-flop. Both move there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Don't bother.
14.
Yeah, a lot of my best stories involve ace king, and a lot of my worst stories involve ace king.
How much do you have?
Yeah.
So how much do you have?
Yeah.
I know you're supposed to gamble with ace king
Hey, I didn't drive all the way
pre-flop,
from
facing a
San
cold four bet,
Antonio.
but man, cold four bets, those are scary things.
Oh, yeah.
2,000 where I'm at.
Like,
I'm realizing
I've,
I'm revealing my leaks right now.
Yeah,
It's not a good idea.
I've been in some tournaments where like people would like fold ace king face up. That's like
Well, tournaments are a different animal, right? You're happy to get it in with ace king, pretty much in most cases, I guess.
Very
depending on, if you're on the bubble.
yeah. Queens are another one. Like there's like I have found there's at least one room where people will fold queens pre-flop. You don't ever want to tell me that you're folding queens pre-flop. Pro tip. Not that I'm pro or anything. Yeah.
Did that in my
I'm not
last
gonna let you
session.
see another cheap flop the rest of the day.
600.
600 for 6, 7, adding
I folded queens to a cold four last session, and the villain was kind enough to tell me later that it was a bad fold.
805.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I respect the cold four too much.
Get rid of this 1K cap.
Yeah, and it's player dependent. Like if it's an old man coffee
Guys, I gotta pay
type,
child support
then
for I didn't expect it.
then you can find that really snug fold.
I also, when I first started,
Like
And I'm kind of the old man coffee type, so you'd think they wouldn't fold four light, but I just sat down, so that always happens when you just sit down. In my experience.
there you go.
Carolyn's saying hi to the chat. Hi, Carolyn.
I forgot about chat. That's bad commentating by me. All right.
Hey,
Hi,
I'm
chat.
guilty too. Like we're busy talking about poker.
Let's see.
And Carolyn, one of our.
I have a question about chat. I have an important question about chat. What's Nick from Yuma? Is he on there? Is he out there right now?
I don't know if Nick from Yuma is in the chat. Reveal yourself if you're here, Nick from Yuma.
Okay. Because to me, I want like a profile done. I want like a 4-part documentary done
No, but that's
about
what I'm saying.
Nick from Yuma.
Look what we've got here.
Always draw. I mean,
We
I
got
got,
king queen and
one,
then something a little bit
like,
better
that's
than king
one of my
queen.
favorites, but now I don't think I can.
Okay, okay.
I think the angles
Okay,
are
okay.
from all angles of the table.
I love C9.
It has Aaron drawing to 3 outs here.
I don't like the middle one.
Ooh.
Aaron gonna flop top pair, but downhill with the better top pair. Potential trouble for AA
I
Ron.
used to love it. I just would always feel like it was my birthday party for whatever reason.
Yeah, like, hey guys, this is my
Downhill
table.
gonna
y'all just
continue
sit
for
around.
150.
Like holding court.
I've always been a fan of 2, 3, 7, and 8. I didn't get that
Popular
lucky.
choices,
I didn't get lucky today.
Yeah.
Aaron considering his options here. Does call in out of position rather. And he's gonna pick up the
Say
club
he's got-
draw.
He's got the back door.
You can never fold top pair on the flop. But certainly not going to fold now, picking up a bunch more outs. Also still possibly good. He is beating things like diamond draws. Downhill going pretty big, going for 500.
He's got
And
that ace of
with
clubs
Aaron
in his
just
hand.
with Aaron just having $1,000 behind, it's like this would be a committing pat.
It sounds very entertaining.
I only heard half of this, and I want to hear the rest at some point.
You make a good point with downhill holding that ace of clubs, making it less likely that Aaron is holding a flush draw since he doesn't have the suited aces. But he does have king queen.
9 is all in.
Aaron does put it in. Otherwise, he'd have a third pot behind anyway. Downhill, gonna call. Gonna try and fade a queen or club. And he does. Aaron gonna
Figured
turn
I'd
over the
clean
king
you up
queen.
anyways if you had it, so may as well just give it all to you now.
You're gonna see that he's picked.
Now take it easy, Caitlin. No add-on, just calm down.
Yeah, like I can't fold any rivers, so let's get it all in. Nice.
Jeremy, I'm pretty sure Carly is not a vampire. She's a great dealer, though.
Turn card for you, too.
I mean, I no, don't load it. What is he on?
Now, William, what do you do there? Are you making the nitty fold? Are you calling knowing that you're burning money if you don't hit your draw?
If I'm Aaron, so you know, this is a hand that's going to play itself. Like my top pair is way too good to fold. I'm still beating pretty much all the hands I was beating before. Like I'm beating diamond draws. You have to tell me downhill's never bluffing, basically. Like downhill has to have only ace king and better, which very few players are going to just have that.
Well, can't say there's not going to be enough.
So yeah, if I'm Aaron, I'm just getting it in.
And the whole way over,
And
you're like,
like
oh,
it's
it's
like
just
two
small.
drugs, and I'm not throwing dead.
The whole way for 2 hours I hear.
Like a nip fest,
I guess that's sort of the nature of, you know, they're kind of shallow, relatively
Like
speaking.
it's like on this board, it's literally
Only one. Only one. I like that.
Baby!
Pick one.
Where the fuck is
Well, Caitlin yell it out here. Caitlin wasn't even in this pot.
What was in the other one?
But like, either your pair is
Added
good
30.
or your pair is not good, but your flush draw is good.
I mean,
Like
I
it's
tried.
impossible for downhill to have a better pair and a better flush draw. So absolutely get it in.
We're in a poker room. I'm pretty sure everyone in here is a little greedy.
Look at these earnings.
Buying it
The,
24, 9, 24.
24 to 20.
Players
see
checks on
downhill picking up
live.
a bunch of money.
2 adding on 1,500.
I'm glad we stopped by the bank.
Alright, live 10.
All right.
9 is 24.
2, 5,
Nobody
10.
cares. I gotta pay child support. Okay?
You got a what?
I gotta pay child support.
Me too.
Just gonna pocket a few bucks off you.
I've sired many children myself.
You both.
I have a couple of stepkids somewhere.
Kevin Lakin. Being funky.
35.
8 fold, 9 raised to 35, 1 fold, 2 fold, 3 fold.
We know one of Aaron's cards. Makes it 35 downhill. Gonna come after some more Aaron bucks with the pocket fives. Ethan and Asti coming along with Raggedy Kings.
How many of y'all not hot with that on?
4 ways to this flop.
Cold-blooded.
Jack 10-7. We know Aaron's got top pair. We do have gut shots for Ethan and Asti. Aaron is best at the moment. I think Aaron's going to continue here. Makes it 80. And Asti's going to come along. He does have an over to go with his gut shot. Actually, he has 2 gut shots. My mistake.
He's double gutted, right?
Asti has 2 gut shots, and one of them gets there with the 8 of spades. He does have the jack high straight. Queen would have also made him a straight.
200.
Front door spades do come in. Asti going to lead this turn and get the snap fold from Aaron. We don't know what Aaron's other card was, but clearly not a jack or a 10, I would imagine.
I was about to say it wasn't another jack.
Yeah, all the colors now. We got
It was too quick a fold for it to be another jack.
next to me, got all the
Probably like an, if I had to guess, probably like an ace or a king.
Yeah, ace jack suited maybe.
Yeah.
I don't have any. We don't play with white. Kind of weird.
You can start to narrow down his holdings once you based on the speed of the fold.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, okay, this is the worst card I could possibly hit. I'm done with this. And that is okay.
Yep.
Especially when the other guy just tells you that he has it by leading.
That was good of him.
Yeah. So, downhill with the ace 10. Gonna open it up.
5 call, 6 call, 7 call, 8 folds, 3 ways.
Asti with the ace queen just flatting in the big
Just a
blind.
flat.
Okay, a little
Big blind.
interest there. If he does get top pair,
Oh, you sent it to me at 1 a.m.
and Ethan does have bottom pair with his 9-4 offsuit that decides to defend button. Let's hold that bet. It's going to pair on the turn. And Asti going to fire again.
I mean, when you hit 1 outers, it's really fucking good. Let me tell you that much.
Can't complain about that game.
And let's get the fold this time. Does not get another street of value.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So you said you're like 5'10" on.
No, you're fine.
Not the best turn
You
in the
find
world.
that that's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead.
It's that middle pair, that middle card just paired. Like he could have just picked up trips, but felt undeterred.
What's
You were saying.
what's your feeling? I feel like the donk lead with top pair on the flop can be regional. I don't know if you found that too, where not everyone does that, but it's kind of an interesting approach.
I'll deal with one.
Yeah, it happens in some places more than others. I don't see it a lot around here. I actually saw it a whole bunch in Oklahoma. Like I played some tournaments up there over the last couple of months, where they'll get there, they'll see their flop, they're like, I lead. And they tell them, I've got it.
Straddle.
Yeah, I see that in LA a lot, where it could be a 3-bet pot and someone flops top pair and they will just pile their money in.
And it's just
Yeah.
A
laggy.
3 or 4-bet pot with
Not many
with the
cards aren't scanning it.
pre-flop aggressor just sitting there wondering what's going on.
And if you're the aggressor, and if you're lucky, you just have aces and say, no, I actually still have it.
Yep,
I will happily
Nope.
accept your money, though.
5 call.
and I
Ooh, we got
did.
a big one brewing here. Huggy waking up with some kings. 3-bet incoming for sure. over Anderson's 40. Even all the suited ace.
200.
Huggy makes it $200.
7 folds, 8 folds.
Nasty not going to continue. Back to Anderson. King 10 offsuit, pretty light. There's the folds.
5 folds.
And Ethan will go away as well.
We're only half hour into the stream, or 25 minutes. We had some big hands so far.
Yeah, we've had 6 hands, and
Yeah,
yeah, definitely some fireworks. We see Aaron already up 4 figures. You see a couple of other players up like 500 plus. Like they're up 100 big blinds.
Yeah, I can offer it when I miss. Like I always do a commentary for live shows I playing, so I can do it.
Ragnar will be wondering whether Aaron's closet has colors other than black, gray, or blue. I'm not sure. You'll have to ask him next time he's back here. Aaron is D9, of course, one of our frequent commentators here at TCH Live
Is that a
Austin.
double or a triple? Okay, raise to 50. It is a lot of times a double on the straddle.
Okay, so live 10, live 20 this hand, downhill.
Folds 9
Makes it 50 with his ace-4 suited. On long. So it kind of defends with the jack-6 suited. Hey, it's suited, right? King 3-3, couple of diamonds. Amsty with the diamond draw. Checks over to him. He'll fire out here. This probably just gets through, and I believe it has. Captain Underpair is pointing out that one of our regulars, Chase, likes to lead a lot. Yeah, that's when he's actually not all in by the time he gets to the flop, which is a rare day, at least in 2-5. So how much leading do you see where you mentioned LA? Like any other places you tend to frequent?
I kind of bounce around. I don't have a poker room near me, so I'm kind of a poker nomad. So I'm in LA, Maryland, North Carolina, Florida. I had my first outing in Round Rock a few months ago. So yeah, the dog leading I think is most common for me in LA and Florida. I think just top pair. I'm going. Let's go.
I've only been to LA once for poker. I've never played in Florida yet, actually. Like I keep meaning to do that. Good to know that that's a thing. But it is unfortunate to live in a poker desert. I gotta say, I'm glad that I dodged that.
Yeah, I lived in California for years, and then once I learned poker after I moved to a poker desert. So that was pretty good timing by me.
Hey, timing's everything.
Absolutely. I should have waited a couple seconds before saying absolutely.
So you like, I told
Timing humor.
I had a chip on my shoulder about it.
Nailed it.
I wanted to do well. And then I drank rum on the stream.
We see
right?
Huggy
Yeah, because what's his face?
raising some Huggies, the dirty diaper, the 3-deuce,
I'm drinking what he's drinking. He's
and running into some legitimate holdings.
like loving his life.
Did you have that locked up before the stream?
No, I just improvised that right on the spot, I swear.
Incredible.
So
Incredible.
I made like a couple of really bitty, like tighter folds.
And it probably fell pretty flat. That's just my guess.
I loved
You
it.
already had,
I'm
what, we were
in.
Like 10?
I didn't mean to step on it either. I should just let it ride.
No, it's
My
fine.
fault.
It's totally fine. We see Aaron rebetting his eights, and we see Doug going for the cold 4-bet with his ace-queen suited in the first straddle. Folds back to Aaron, our 3-better with eights. He's going to let them go.
Yeah.
Ace king or better.
So
In those
That's
moments,
proud.
if I look back on the stream, if I'm eights, I get mad at the dirty diaper. Like, you did this. I had to 3-bet you because I got to read you were light, and then of course someone wakes up with ace queen suited.
yeah, unfortunate
Huggy.
for sure. Like normally the way that goes is eights open, and then you maybe get 3-bet by the ace-queen. Maybe you don't if it's just heads up. And then the eights have a reasonable price to go and try and get an 8.
And they got all them crypto people.
And then we live and die by flips just like tournaments.
like a 10
Well, you could argue that maybe, and I don't want to out anybody, but maybe Huggy's colluding with person who put in the 3-bet. So that maybe that's what happened.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if we could, you may have just unearthed the latest poker scandal.
Lord alive.
Yeah. Sorry, Huggy. I didn't mean to out you. He texted me earlier. He told me not to tell anybody. So that's my bad, Huggy. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
But I'm not. I just don't like the dirty diaper or the skinny or whatever you want to call it. Like, you know what? That's on you,
Just
buddy.
make sure that we don't tell anybody about the frog toys. Damn it!
They would prefer not to be able to be in the live stream.
We got a hand happening. Amnesty has queens,
8 raised to
and Mike has 9. So Amnesty's put some money in, and now Mike's put some more money in. 40 and 110 for anybody who cares what the numbers are.
I'm all in.
But I totally love, and we do have an all-in from Amnesty with the queens. Mike isn't all that deep. Against some players, you could call off with 9s here for 51 pigs.
Hit downhill. Take your phone off this.
You could call off here.
Sounds like
You can call me Kevin, they can't hear us. But whatever you want.
No, I'll
I think a lot of players just let this go. What do you think?
One time.
Oh, one time?
Hey.
Oh, it's always one
Well, Mike thinks it's a
No,
call.
it's not.
You guys
You
twice?
you can do whatever you want.
There we go.
Twice? Is that agreed?
Discussing how many times to run it.
We're gonna go twice, Mel.
Twice is nice.
Play that shit. Good hand. That's me, obviously.
Amnesty looking to fade a 9. He does on the first board, ends up with 3 pair.
3 kicker plays.
Second board, 5-5 deuce. 10, which is almost a 9.
It looked like a
Give him a
9.
9.
9 of
Give him
hearts.
Had a lot of
give him
pips.
a 9.
9 of hearts.
Give him a 9.
9 of hearts.
It's lagging. We're getting a little sweat. We're getting a little sweat.
So we have time to chat.
No, it's gonna be the 9 of hearts.
Will it?
All right, let's go.
All this drama for nothing.
Kept him in the
We
game.
did it.
Chop it up.
Undeserved.
Undeserved.
Everybody.
Undeserved.
Well, you're the one that called it.
Give him a 9.
Had 10 chances to find it,
What a generous guy.
and on chance number 10, he does find that 9.
You won the
This
extra
is
He did ask for a 9 of hearts, though, so another mistake by the dealer.
All that for $9, Sam.
Well, I mean, she's under no obligation to listen to their requests, so. Hey,
Maybe
it may
she's a
impact
vampire.
the
I have a
Thank you.
I have a quick Queens versus 9 story if we have time.
Go
to
for it.
say
Go for it. We got time.
Okay, so I was playing at a Round Rock room, and there were some raises and calls and calls and calls. I had pocket queens. I bump it up, and a short stack just calls it off. And I had queens. He had 9s.
I see them.
Run out's clean, and he gets up to leave, and
Are we just
I-
gonna keep this
I'm,
going?
I felt terrible. I have a poker vlog, and I want to make sure I'm accurate. And I hated that I did this, but I said, "Excuse me, I know you know I have this poker channel. Do you mind? Do you mind telling me the suits of your 9s?" And he was very nice about it, and he didn't remember, but he walked off. He didn't mind, but I felt terrible, and I sat down, and got a lot of grief from everybody for justified grief. But then 4 of the people at the table were like spades and clubs. So I didn't even have to, bother this guy, kick him while he's down, and now I know better. I can just make up the suits.
Well, I don't want to relive last
Yeah, a lot of
There's a
people
little bit of
probably just-
inside knowledge for those of you who watch poker vlogs. Sometimes we make up the suits.
Like, it might be where I just break out the, "I'm sorry, Mr. Slow. I don't remember."
Yeah, that's what he should have said. And it was, a terrible. Don't kick someone while they're down. It was just bad form. I'm still content first, poker etiquette second. So yeah, if you're out there, pocket 9s, I'm sorry. And it was clubs and spades.
I think we're all guilty of the occasional faux pas. Brief delay here. It looks like the system's lagging a little bit. I know that Productions
somebody, but we
works on this, but we are sitting here 15 minutes in the future.
I can't in my way right now because I
The
like
winning lottery numbers are 4, 19. No, doesn't work like that.
He wants you to
I forget if we can get the sports almanac now or we could have gotten it before. I have to think this through. Hold on, I just dated myself really, really badly, didn't I mean, there's probably enough older people watching the stream, right? It's not just.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, we get all ages that watch for sure. I have gotten
Right.
to meet some of our viewers, and yeah, we have a wide variety of people watching the show, and we love having every one of you. We thank you so much for being here. Be sure hit like, hit
Everyone in the
subscribe
chat.
if you haven't done so already,
Look, I already know what I'm gonna
because that is how YouTube knows that people enjoy the show, and then they show it to other people, and then they come chat and we make more friends.
How, like, if you let enough anticipation build, it's more satisfying. Like,
So William, how long have you lived in Texas?
I've been here almost 6 years now.
playing
Do you think is it 2 more years until you like drop the New York accent, or 3? What do you think?
I haven't shaken it yet. Like I left New York before 6 years ago. I've been gone from New York. Second time, probably 8 years now.
Of course, I messed up.
Yeah, it's time to let it go. I mean, enough already.
The commentator sees
Nah, I think I'm going to be hard pressed to get rid of that.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, but we shall find out.
Everything's good.
Oh yeah, someone in chat just Ragnar in chat just noticed your Porsche shirt. I didn't notice it until now.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I get it. I didn't even see the text. That's nice.
It's dial 911 in case of emergency. Yeah, those are awesome cars. Until recently, I had one.
Oh wow.
I did sell it. I mean, the thing's just so darn expensive to own, and I never drove it. And we have another fun hands. We got a battle of some pairs.
It seems like this entire stream is just going to be pocket pairs versus pocket pairs.
Sometimes that's what the cards dictate. And we have Huggy's 6s versus Downhill's queens. Huggy looking for an upside down 9.
90-day fiance.
Instead, he gets a bunch of overs, and this hand probably doesn't quite have the fireworks of the last one. I think we went check. Downhill maybe a little bit concerned about that ace hitting.
I'm from Amsterdam.
8 of spades. Doesn't change anything.
she has like a super gay Vegas show, honestly.
Going on 18.
That was pretty for the moment trip though.
Yeah, I went to I used to play tennis at
Playing for a
8.
while, like,
Put a tennis team and then started my
Yeah, I saw she went to like New York.
Huggy gonna fire out on this turn.
well, you know, I was
Can't Downhill withstand the pressure.
I used to go once a year, but I haven't been in 7 years. But my family comes to visit.
He does call. You could certainly call down with a holding like this,
October, November, December.
especially on that safe 3 of spades.
I used to go during Christmas. They gotta come here now. So my dad just retired.
And see what Downhill decides to do. It looks like he does check.
I like resorts.
I need to start making my way down to that end of
Yeah, when we played over there last time, I like resorts.
I enjoyed the tournament, like, as long as it's beautiful.
Huggy is going to go for the bluff here. Makes it 300. Thinking 6s are probably not good. Downhill probably has capped himself at a 10 after he checks the turn. See what Downhill decides to do. He does decide to flick it in. Huggy's bluff will be unsuccessful. And Downhill going to collect the pot of 1,100 and change.
Nice call.
Wade, he's doing the job. Absolutely nice call. Do have some shots fired here from our friend Jay Stack in the chat. He thinks that our combined
Jay Stack.
percent.
I played my only live stream with Jay Stack, and yeah, my VPIP. I think Jay Stack, you said if you combine slow poker, my VPIP, and Lahti's, that's 15%. Your suggestion there is that Lahti's VPIP is 14%. That sounds high. That sounds high.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Lahti line is 15%. Like, that's something that we established in the early days of this program. 15% VPIP, that's the line.
Yeah.
It's a term that's rapidly taking off. Everybody aspires to my 15% VPIP.
Doing the commentary.
Actually,
No, I
was
play
just
with-
on Monday, and I was a little bit busier than 15%, just a little bit.
Probably my favorite vlog.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I got lucky on my first live stream that J Stack I think got aces, queens, jacks, and I believe Jack 6 offsuit the entire night except for
Yeah,
4%
I
of the
saw
hands.
that. I saw that live stream. It wasn't this show; it was some other show. Believe it or not, I watch
Yes.
other shows sometimes, but like you had like no cards.
No cards,
And
but
sometimes
I
you
did
have no
get
cards.
people love to just assume that I was just folding pocket jacks and queens all night because they weren't kings and aces. But no, I just didn't get any cards. It just happens. But I am a tight player, but not that tight. I think 4% is kind of hard. It's really hard to do.
Yeah,
35?
35.
I don't think I've even been that low yet,
It's a badge of
but
honor.
I have had
We'll
some
get
pretty
there
good
someday.
nights. Anderson, not a believer in the 9 triz. We do have 3 players going to this flop, though. Ethan's ace slightly ahead. 8-8-4-9-7 is going to pick up the diamond draw and the backdoor straight draw, and no one else really connects here.
9-bet 30.
Checks over to Aaron, who makes it 30. Downhill is just going to call here. Raise is certainly an option as well. Looks like Ethan stuck around with his ace high. And downhill now picking up the open ender.
5
But the open ender with
With the
2 flush
diamonds.
draws.
And checks through this time. 3 of clubs comes in. That would be the wrong flush. So Ethan's ace will be good if it gets the showdown. I think Ethan's aiming for a value bluff here. All in for 180.
And those couple of add-ons help.
So pot. And you have the best hand anyway. And they do fold.
That's me.
Eric, happy that RF Poker has fixed the card icons. Yeah, they're always refining the system, and it's really great that they do that. And
Actually, I don't know what mine sounds like.
I'm sure they love the feedback.
Thank you.
Definitely makes things easier for the viewers.
Pretty sure they do.
Ragnar wants to go back to the card talk. Did I ever take my car to a track day? No. I did a parade lap at Coda one time with the Porsche, but never drove it at speed around a racetrack. Or really anywhere else. So hence why I just unloaded it rather than continuing to spend thousands of dollars to own a car that I don't drive. Because you got to insure it, you got to maintain it. None of that's cheap.
That's how I felt about my 87 Dodge Aries.
Yeah. And then the warranty expires, and then anything else that breaks is super expensive. And
Now, think
I'm in
about
it.
the odds.
You may have noticed.
In a sea of free flops.
Not as much as me. 4%.
All right. Looks like we have a raise and take it. This may be the first time that we haven't gotten to a flop tonight.
Yeah, wow.
No, the second time. There was the ace-queen 4-bet. But these 2-5 streams, we do tend to see a lot of flops. So maybe not quite as many hands as on the 5-10 shows, just because those people actually fold.
We have Court in the chat saying that he knows I can fold pocket kings. Court, that was a rumor. I've never folded pocket kings pre-flop, so I don't know where you got your information, but maybe fact check before you hop in the chat and spread vicious rumors about me.
Does he look like a man who would fold pocket kings pre-flop?
I mean, I'm a nit, but I'm not that nitty. That's ridiculous. That's scared money talking.
Aaron opening up his suited ace, going to run smack into Doug's ace-queen. Going to put in the 3-bet.
She didn't do 8.
3 fold.
Makes it 140.
One of the motions is okay. The other one not so much.
Back to Aaron, who's just going to fold. Doug going to win. And he may have more victories tonight than the New York Jets that he's representing
While she's driving.
Jets burn.
as football season starts.
Are you
I
Jets
do
or
have-
Giants, William?
I'm a Denver Broncos fan, actually. Go
I see.
figure. I do have a bunch of Jet fans in my family, though, and enjoy picking early in the draft again.
I'm a Jaguars fan, so that's been the last 10 or so years of my life.
I do have a bet on the under for Seattle's wins. I have them winning under 6 games. I have the over on Denver. I forget what the line I got was, but needless to say, I have a vested interest in the Denver-Seattle game Monday.
To play this card in the hand in the dark.
I think
One time
Seattle's-
one time I ever considered a sports bet, because I'm not a sports bettor, was the Seattle New Orleans game that ended up, they were such massive favorites. New Orleans. That was the famous Marshawn Lynch
the
earthquake game.
Beastquake game. I was
Yep.
at that game.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
wow.
nuts. I was living in Seattle at that point. That stadium is nuts. As we get a King 8-3 flop. So Ethan's King Deuce is going to outflop Downhill's Jacks. And we're going to check through, maybe? Yes. Safe turn of a 4. 2 flush draws on board. Downhill now going to fire with the Jacks. And Ethan going nowhere with top pair. No kicker, though. We go to the river. 8's going to pair. I think Downhill's just going to shut it down here. Ethan with a little over pot behind. He's going to go 105. Targeting presumably hands exactly like Jack's.
Right there for you.
He does lose to a lot of Downhill's kings, but we also probably would have heard from a king on the flop.
In case you want to get the courage to straddle a little bit more or anything.
There were 2 flushes that missed, so he could get called here. And he does call, and Ethan going to take down a nice pot. Even King Deuce can be a winner sometimes. And hey, what did we say about Jacks?
We did say that about Jacks. We did.
Yeah. Yeah,
Again,
I
why
can,
fold them?
yeah, like this summer, like there were 2 different times where I was in a tournament all in for like 5 figures worth of equity. One of them was with Ace King. The other one was with Jacks. And guess how many of those pots I won?
3 of them.
Neither of them.
3 pots. 3 pots.
Neither of them.
No, Jacks. Pocket Jacks are a drawing hand. Didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
You find that out already? Yeah.
Yeah, the Jacks got in against King Queen, and they got rivered. And the Ace King called off against 9s, and nothing but bricks. And look at that.
Speak
Our
of the
good
devil.
our good friends AK for Anderson.
And a diaper, although a suited diaper.
That's the cloth diaper. That's not the disposable one. And so Aaron calls with his Queen Jack suited. Caitlin with some 6s. 3 ways to a flop. A Jack and 8 and a 5. So Aaron with top pair. Best hand here. Anderson going to continue. Holding 2 overs and back doors. Makes it 100. Half pot. Not going to lose Aaron. Caitlin going to fold.
Okay, everyone, that is my time. You got the
3 of hearts on the turn. So heart draw does show up for Anderson. Ten outs that are live. He thinks he has more outs. Aaron going, is this right?
That can't be right.
Bet $30. Let me see. I got my phone. It's like slightly. No, it was $30.
It does look like
Okay.
it is. It was. Yeah, I saw that.
I was going to rewind it, and the 5's going to pair, so the hearts are going to miss, and Aaron's jack will be best. So he bet like 6% the pot. An interesting move. This feels playful.
10%.
And his 50-hour bet's going to get called because
It works.
hey, Anderson's getting a price.
Hey, don't mess with success.
Yeah, I mean, like the only way you can fold is if you know Aaron is never, ever, ever bluffing.
Hey, what was it that he said that very last time?
I know it's going to be a pain sometimes.
He said Kuminari.
You got to look at our
He said
earnings.
something and I couldn't, like,
Live 40, triple.
Aaron, the big winner. An even bigger winner after that call.
is that double triple straddle?
Triple straddle 40.
Is a what?
Queen Jack is my nemesis hand.
Damn, y'all
Queen
go all
Jack.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying, you're a fan.
always seems to get there.
Yeah. Looks like we do have the 10, 20, 40 this hand. Huggy with the ace 10.
Yeah, I thought we were friends here. I thought we were playing a nice, friendly
Gonna
game.
be an open.
125.
Makes it 125. I think Doug sticks around with his pair. So with the $40 straddle. Oh, and downhill has kings.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Gonna go 600, which is kind of awkward here because like, this would commit Huggy all in. And if Huggy goes all in, it's actually dead raise.
Like the map and stuff, like for my blog and stuff. So, and I was gonna like.
Huggy does go all in for 993.
They will get like, yeah.
Max Payne.
And the 8s get out of the way. Downhill gonna snap him off.
Good luck to you. A little less than me.
Huggy with the ace 10. 966 on the flop. No help for him. 5 does not
Just an ace.
do much for him. And the
Safe call.
I had one of your aces.
ace 10 will not hit anything there.
Should have told me before, but
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, you got pocket 8s out of there and results oriented. That's a pretty good thing.
I just noticed that.
They say not to be results oriented, but that is how we get paid in poker. Just saying.
You know, the more you win here, the less the 49ers will win this season. I don't know if that discouraged you a little bit, but
What do you do there with ace 10? I'm a big the ace 10 offsuit. I think I'm just always folding. But if you're that short, you just figure, all right, well, I can always. There's no way I'm ahead.
It was
The ace
30%.
10 offsuit's an easy fold for me there.
That's what we
But what I was going to
We're
say
mixed.
before we saw the kings, what I was going to say before we had the kings, like Huggy was playing about 25 big blinds effective, like when you make the $40 straddle. And given that, like pocket 8s could have actually considered jamming for 25 bigs. And then ace 10 should still be folding.
Yep.
Adding on 7.
That is a little different when you have that bigger stack behind you, which like, occasionally he's going to wake up with it. And like that's one of those, like it's life sort of deals. But you definitely could go for the raise there. And that's the weird thing with these giant straddles. Like it'll actually slow down the action sometimes. It's like you'll get a standard raise. It'll be like, wait a second, this is $200. And then you'll have some players who maybe just play cash games and don't have as much experience playing 25 bigs, like a tournament reg might.
I'm gonna learn that I treat everyone the same, baby. I'll bust everybody's balls.
Yeah. It's a double straddle to 20.
So live 10, and then don't know what's happening there with C3.
Okay. 4 fold, 5 fold, 6 fold, 7 raise to 70.
I think Doug put the 10 on.
70.
What do you say?
One fish, two fish.
Yeah. 7 raise to 70. Fold 9 fold.
Got over to Amsty, who made it 70 with his ace queen. Doug now with the ace jack, presumably going to defend his straddle here.
How much is the rate?
280 total.
Does make it 280. We see things get caught up.
Yeah,
And ace queen just going to fold there. Little surprising. Ace queen, usually a call in position.
Yeah, so there's like a fridge right there that's got different waters and stuff in it, and then you just tell the front desk whatever.
It's I would make a new advantage.
There's like Topo Chicos and stuff on the bottom if you like sparkling.
I'm not a big fan.
Then there's
Water fountain over there.
Big life.
Hey, just
I just start to learn how players do their thing.
See Moose Duty in the chat. Maritime law. That's
20.
That's been a thing here since the early days.
Double straddle.
is that where you guys all play?
Nice to see our long timers in the chat.
Double straddle into 20.
not like we
This
all
card's
play.
read. Cool.
Oh, shit.
Most of the time.
5 raise to 40.
That's a show real much.
8-7 for Ethan. Opens it up.
Jacks again.
Does not even get past the next player who has jacks. That'll be Huggy making it $200 with the jacks. Downhill with the 10s. An unfortunate spot for him. He is going to go for the cold 4-bet with the 10s. Makes it $500.
That's the headset.
This is where Ethan can just get out of the way for cheap, and this is where Huggy probably just gets it all in, as he just has 800 behind. That's an all in, and that's going to be a snap call from downhill, who is going to be pipped.
Thanks.
Downhill looking for a 10.
Yeah, just
Let's get the run out here.
That's pretty good.
Instead, it's going to be jacks full, and the backdoor quads will not come in.
I want a hand, you guys.
Thank the poker guys.
Oh my god, if he wants that one,
And results-oriented Ethan delighted that he did not see the flop with his 8.
That's a good flop.
And that's how you play jacks, William.
There you go.
Yes, that is how you play jacks. You flop the boat. Downhill, no control for Ethan.
That happens the best of us.
And I had 2 pairs, hard to make it.
That could have easily, like, if those 10s aren't there, it often goes Ethan calls, Ethan flops trips, Ethan gets stacked. But sometimes, sometimes something else happens and somebody else takes the beating for you. Mark Abel with the $9.99 super chat. Cheers for Magic.
argue like that. Stop.
Thanks a lot for that.
Stop looking at it.
Great to see you. Great to play with you on Monday.
Kevin, please scan.
Now, I'm new to this, William. That $9.99 goes straight into my pocket. Is that right?
Wrong here.
That goes into a lot of different pockets.
Fold, 7 call.
But mostly
Checks in
into
the
my
mail.
pocket. Okay, just verifying. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Mark.
We'll have to check with David on that.
Mark, I'll be sure to buy something nice with that. Thank you so much.
That can't even buy you a box combo at Canes these days.
7 call.
I don't know where you're getting your hands.
No. Let's see. 3 ways to a flop here.
Sorry. Should've
3
folded for the
ways.
extra 10.
Jack 9, Jack 8, 9, 7. Who's going to win here? 6, 3 deuce. Couple of diamonds.
8 check.
Only one player holding a diamond. Nobody loves this flop. We're checking through. And we put another 6 out there because That's exactly what everyone wanted.
I mean, Jack 9 has to feel great right now.
Like a hot sandwich.
Oh, absolutely. Jack 9's the nuts here. Except, oops, Mike wants to say that he's got it. Does have the worst hands. But Jack High not finding the call. Yeah, Jace, like I said, box combo and canes. That's what I said.
Canes, that's a fast food joint, right?
Raising Canes, yeah, the chicken finger chain.
Thank you, J-Stack. J-Stack, I appreciate it. I just learned about Canes, I think this week, due to, I believe, an Alan Kessler tweet.
Yeah, he was tweeting about the price of said box combo going up. You know what? That's inflation. Everything goes up. Like, I mean,
I should know that you're always ripping stuff from the headlines, William, and I should have been right on Johnny on the spot there, and I missed it. And thank you, J-Stack. Haynes, and I'm a Fruit of the Loom guy, so I screwed that up. I apologize, everybody.
Well, actually, the thought came to my mind because, like, I had some Raising Canes for lunch today, and yeah, that stuff's not as cheap as it was, but nothing's cheap anymore. Like those little packets of rice you get at the food store, for as long as I can remember, those were $1. They're not $1 anymore. They're more than that. Like, inflation is real.
No, J-Stack, I did hear Haynes. You're correct, J-Stack, in the chat. Oh, sorry, we got cards to play. I apologize.
That was also funny, so I just let it go.
No. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we do have some poker happening. And Aaron just flatting with the ace-jack offsuit. That is certainly a squeeze candidate as well. Amsty having glimpsed his suited connector. Ethan going to call it the 3-deuce. As far as I know, there's no prop or anything. And now this is going to trigger the avalanche of calls because everyone feels priced in.
It's happening. You know it's
Pocket
happening.
7's the best hand at the moment. 9-8 of diamonds certainly live. And we get an ace in the window, and we get 2 diamonds behind.
7-bet 100.
Some potential fireworks here. Amsty with the diamond draw, and it's going to put up the $100 lead. He was not the pre-flop raiser, remember. He just limped. Aaron does have top pair and some back doors. Does just call here. Gets it heads up to this turn, which is a 7. So Amsty now picking up the open ender.
My whole life right now. Can't do anything. 7-bet 500. Can't even have sushi.
And I can't imagine a 5 would ever scare Ace-Jack.
Yeah, he'd feel pretty okay about that.
I mean, they're good, but...
So Amsty with the big $500 bet here. Aaron just letting it go. Perhaps not wanting to face an all-in on the river.
Yes, Sammy. Yes.
Very lucky that you bet that flop, Sam.
Why? Man, I had the world record this hand.
Watch
See,
what
I had
I
the
fold.
No. I know I had the best hand.
Not on the turn. You did not have the best hand on
And
the
the
turn.
dunk is effective.
I was gonna microwave.
Yeah, okay, I bet you could. Yeah, you're funny
Telling
queens.
me unless it's like...
What do you think of bet 500 with just with 2 spares? You know me better than that.
Ragnar, you say you raise your hands every morning when you get dressed. I blame William on this. He brought the Huggies into this with the dirty diaper. So I have this sort of...
And you play with me.
I started the undercurrent conversation. That is true. Guilty as charged.
Yeah, you planted that seed. Why would I go right to chicken?
That's all I can say.
Okay, question from J Stack. What do you all consider betting? Four betting suited connectors or just folds? Already assuming you're behind. If I can get folds, then I could consider cold 4 betting every now and then. I need to have some things other than just big cards when I do that.
The only one that makes sense.
And then you know exactly where you are on the flop, like if you end up getting to a flop, which is the nice thing. Either you have it or you don't. And speaking of having it, Ethan has queens, and we're probably setting up for a classic race against Caitlin's ace-king suited. Caitlin made a 30. Anderson called with suited gapper. Ethan going for the 140.
1 raise to
Caitlin gonna bump it up to 500. Ethan with slightly more than that, and it should be going in here.
Caleb, stop taking my place.
Five is all in. One call. Twice.
And Caitlin
Twice.
calling the additional $20. Classic flip here. Ace King versus Queens. Who we got?
Good luck, y'all.
I had an ace.
We got a couple of spades like video pros, and then there's a king. So Caitlin ahead here, way ahead.
3 outer.
Queens looking pretty thin here. Ace King is going to take the first board. I think there's a second board coming here.
I know, she was like, if this messes up, it's your fault for running it twice.
Two more spades.
I folded 2 spades.
Queens with a massive sweat here.
He folded 2, I folded an
Queen of spades would be spicy.
Yeah, yeah, a little something for everyone situation.
A deck of spades would be, or queen of spades, that'd be dirty.
Waiting for the legs to catch up. I think the scanner was lagging. Here we go with the turn. Jack of diamonds.
Now jack of spades.
Oh.
6 of spades on the river. Caitlin is going to scoop.
Okay, okay.
Wants to flip twice. Okay, AK. And that was using up 2 of her spades on the flop.
Like, she was like 300 in red.
that raised the full number. Jack, 6 range.
Nice to know that you can win a crucial flip with Ace King.
Some people can.
Yeah. And I've had a run where like back-to-back Ace King has bagged me a tournament chip lead, like a day 1 chip lead. But then I've also had like Ace King cost me all my chips when there's 20 of us left in a really big tournament. So, you know, mixed feelings there for sure.
Yep.
Lately, I've had a knack for having a big ace when somebody else has 2 aces,
I lived in Louisville.
which is kind of problematic, especially when you flop top pair.
Dude, so nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I'm not crying anymore.
Hey, what do you need?
I just need a stack of those.
Such a compliment to like, wow.
Sorry to miss it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess half of them, yeah. Fuck.
Attitude.
Disgusting. I like how those people live.
So how many of these players have, I know Huggy has a channel, right? Has a YouTube channel?
Yeah, so does
And
Caitlin.
yeah, for a bomb pod, we're gonna do our
Yeah.
bomb pod.
Caitlin also has a podcast, the Texas Poker Experience.
Every hour.
I don't know of anybody else with channels, but I could be wrong on that.
All right, everybody go subscribe to Huggy Poker and Caitlin.
Texas Poker Experience, and then also, let me get the exact name of Caitlin's channel. I want to get this wrong.
It's called Slow Poker.
Caitlin from Texas Poker. That's the channel we're talking about there with Caitlin. But you know what? Slow Poker is a pretty good channel too, and you should go subscribe to that as well. And you should also hit like on our channel because I think we could do better with the like count.
I should do that. I get my phone to do that. Oh, I did that before the show. Way ahead of all of you.
All right, and we are on a $10 Pilo bomb pot. And
Who's got the case 5?
we see a bunch of 5s out there.
Good move.
Ace 833 is hair and gut shot for Ethan. Huggy's got
case 5.
Mike with the 5. Not a lot else going on there.
She misheard you.
Check through.
No, she misheard.
Double paired board on the bottom now.
5 check. Sorry, I'm like dealer dyslexic.
Anderson does have a deuce, so does Huggy. So Huggy probably feeling pretty good here. Nut diamond draw on top and trips on the bottom that are not good. Huggy's made it 50. Mike calls with his 9875 for bad trips on the bottom and 2 pair on the top.
4 call, 5 call.
And it's called in a couple more spots. Ethan with a gut shot, I think. And
I tried.
diamonds come in on the top. Huggy's got the nuts there. Another 10 on the bottom. So our winners right now would be Huggy and Mike, who's 9-5 is good. Not much he loses to with 3 of the 5s on the board. We know he has the best 5. Loses just to 10s and deuce 10.
Quads.
Or deuce deuce. And we do see Mike put it in for a 448. Over to Anderson, who has the jack high diamonds, and he has a deuce. He could talk himself into a call here, thinking that he could be good on one side. And it's tricky to draw to one side. The other side of this, though, is this is 4 ways. So we're not just getting our money back.
It's not even the queen high.
And it's third and
diamonds.
It gets dicey, and he does fold.
Yeah, good fold.
And Ethan at this point has an easy fold.
I didn't even see the other hand. Thank you.
He's going to consider it. He's going to fold. And Huggy has nuts on one side and trips on the other, so he's going to call, and they're going to chop.
I had the deuce as well. And
I looked at this hand and I was like, this is
Jack
close.
Jack high.
You can bring those bets back.
I was gonna shove on top if you called.
Yeah.
I mean, friends, this was a PLO bomb pot. So that is so what we do is everybody puts in $10, and then we put out 2 flops, and then it's PLO high. One board gets half the pot, the other board or half the pot. PLO, you must play second cards in showdown.
Yeah, button stays. We're good.
Or when I play you, William, you get 3/4 of the pot.
That's the thing that happens sometimes.
Somehow, many times with you and me.
And sometimes you have nights like that.
But I learned from that. I played a few of those at Sahara in Vegas, and I was just very careful with nuts straight on one board and nothing on the other.
Yeah.
And I got out of there fast and dodged a lot of bullets.
Yeah, straights get you quartered because someone else can have the same straight, and also trips can get you in trouble for the same reason.
Yep.
Like, no one else can have the same set as you, but they can have the same trips as you. Like, imagine 2 people were sitting there with ace-5. We know there was a 5 on the other board, but let's pretend there wasn't. You could say, ooh, I have ace-5, but somebody else could have ace-5. Okay, so Aaron made it 35 with his ace-jack downhill. Went for the somewhat white 3-bet with the 10-9. Aaron calls. We go heads up to a flop. Queen, queen, jack. Aaron with the jack. Downhill with the open enter. We go check, check. And Aaron fills up on this turn. He has jacks full of queens. Downhill has 1 out to chop the pot. Or, you know, 1 out that's still in a deck at least. Aaron going for some value here, making it 80. This gets dicier for downhill.
No, you put him here and it stands there.
If he's not already dead, a king could certainly not be good. He does fold.
It's too late to rep the queen.
Yeah, that ship sailed. And Aaron going to take this one down.
Counterfeit.
I see everyone tilting at Streamlabs right now, not winning their gambles. Let me try. Maybe I can shake things up by putting in a 10-point gamble of my own.
Oh, I mean, just take it. We're slow. I'm getting it out. I still have like 6 in after me. Yeah, we could still. Yeah, just take it.
Yeah, we'll get some more cards dealt out here. Hey, I got a 93.
Wow, Doug.
Okay, maybe it's all fixed, guys.
Seat 7 timing on 1,000.
4 of diamonds exposed.
Doug purposely flipped his 4 because he knew.
All right, I'm folding pocket 4s.
9 fold, 1 fold.
Yeah, Pocket four is certainly not so great anymore. Ace jack suited is pretty good though.
I know.
Anderson makes it 40. Ethan gonna defend that 9-6, and Huggy with the proper hands.
6 raised to 200.
A lot of pocket kings tonight.
Yeah,
Fold, 8 fold.
yeah, lots of kings showing up.
Firehouse this time.
Anderson with a decent suited ace is going to call one since he does have position as we go heads up to a flop.
I always get a brisket sandwich from Firehouse. Like if you ever get Firehouse and you're feeling generous, that's like the go-to.
And pretty safe flop for those kings. 6-3 deuce. Up with diamonds. Huggy's kings are of the red variety. Continues for 125.
That should do it.
Quick folds. It does do it.
Thank you.
I think we're already past the hour point. Reminds you all you're watching TCH Live. I'm William Lahti, the New York Knit with you, alongside Slow Poker this evening.
Also a knit.
Also a knit.
And I lived in New York for 10 years, so.
He lives in New York for a while. We've got New York in common.
Mm-hmm. Where in New York? You're Long Island, right?
I'm from Long Island, originally from Long Island, a town called Stony Brook, out in the middle
Yes,
of
that's right. We talked about this. I have family from Stony Brook, and my wife
we
is
did
from
talk about
Northport.
2 fold, 3 fold.
Like my total
That's
useless
with the-
superpower is running into
Yeah.
people either from Stony Brook or with ties to Stony Brook. It's weird. Like that happened more than once this summer.
Happened to me. I live in North Carolina, and I ran into a retired couple from Stony Brook on a bike trail.
Well, there you go. A lot of Long Islanders end up down in North Carolina.
I
was
think we
down
put up
there
a
for a
poll.
little
We
bit.
threw up a poll earlier that all the Texas live stream fans wanted to hear about New York geography. We got it with 90% yes. Okay, so you're welcome,
absolutely.
everybody. Thanks for responding to the poll.
We got a lot of time left.
You got a 10-8-6 flop. Huggy with bottom two. Ethan with top pair.
You know, one of the first ones.
Ethan probably
This is
on
why
the
you
hook
showed-
for his remaining 218.
That's why you got to shove 8-6 offsuit pre-flop. Except before I'll say it again.
5 from Huggy.
Should buy you a burger.
If this is the flop you want, if you're going to play this hand, like you want top pair. And he's going to raise for slightly more. Huggy going to snap. Huggy looking for fade, a 10 or a 3.
Ethan is drawing
Or a counterfeit. I think we're going twice to
You're probably gonna scoop.
This feels choppy.
There's the twos
No, too fair.
and the 4, so it's all around that 3. 8-6 good on the first
I don't
one.
mind. I don't mind giving. Like, give him the 3.
There's a king and an ace. Neither player holding a heart. So Huggy gonna scoop with his 8s and 6s. Ethan gonna get stacked here.
I tried to call it.
You could say
It is, yeah.
that Huggy 86 Ethan. All right, I'm taking off, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
You could certainly say that. I think Ethan may actually be calling it a night. I think you just spoke it into existence 15 minutes later. My video chopped up there, but I do think he was saying good night.
I was. Oh, was my mic got choppy?
No, not your mic. My video here on the table video. I don't know if you're seeing any chop out there in YouTube land. Apologies if that is happening. Might just be internal on my side.
Everything looks good at my end.
That is good to hear. And there's a good chance that everyone else can see it just fine then.
I'm from Amsterdam. I'm from Amsterdam.
Do you know, I grew up in a very sheltered community. Me too. I showed up at NYU with my Bible and I was like, wait,
Ace King finding its way over to Mike this time. Makes it 60 in this $20 straddle pot,
Just some redneck fun sticks.
and nobody will offer him resistance.
Finally wake up with the hand.
Yeah, I'm from Dallas.
Oh,
No
okay.
takers.
And so yeah, and I was a political science minor, so I used to be very aggressively conservative. Like what are some of those gals' names? Like Laura Ingraham's type?
Sounds like the table's now discussing where they're from as well. Something else we spoke into existence.
And now you're a comedian that plays full-time poker.
I feel better now.
We took a couple of left turns there, but
That's
we
okay.
ended up where we're supposed to be, I think.
We'll go all over the place, but we'll get back to the poker eventually.
Yeah. I guess technically, since this is 15 minutes ago, they spoke our conversation into existence. I
Yeah.
don't mean to correct you.
I found plenty of ways to
Hey, technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Preach. Preach, brother.
Anderson with the worst of aces, the ace-6 offsuit, going to make it 35. Amnesty calls. Caitlin's ace-6 of the suited variety. Thinking about it here. Does go the call route. Doug has them both pipped with his
Great, now the
ace-7.
machine is not working again.
All right, let's see all aces on the flop.
Case-ace for chaos. How about that?
No, I want 3 aces. Ah,
Sorry about your prop not hitting there.
that's okay.
100.
Amnesty does hit top pair, and it's probably going to win this pot right now. They can get 100 as it checks over to him, and they all fold.
Because we're friends. So now on the way, to in the car, you cannot blame me then.
That's the best time to play Queen Jack when you're up against 3 ace rag.
Absolutely.
It's good
Sorry?
thinking.
If they have
I live in San
You
Antonio.
don't get the obligatory ace on the flop.
Yeah, no, that's called foresight.
Originally from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I've been here for about 17 years. I used to play at A&M. I know you can't
Seat
tell,
open,
but
John.
there's an athlete underneath here somewhere.
No? Gee.
I didn't see the chap in there, I didn't do it.
See if we get that seat filled.
But John just
Ethan brought a quarter book.
We get another 2, 5, 10 hands out here.
How come you got the announcer playing?
Still surviving.
That's sort of cheap. You did.
He's stuck in Stevie.
Can I play?
Yeah, I'm the chip pinata here.
You are invited.
You what?
I'm the chip
Looks like
pinata
we are
here.
going to fill that seat.
What are we playing?
2-5.
Smash
on
cut.
3 with the straddle.
And how much is it? How much?
4K.
What a great question. Sit down. Like, what are we playing? Playing poker.
Go fish.
The first 30 minutes he could
I
lose.
just doubled.
Players checks on live.
Hey, like I've gotten roughed up on the Go Fish streets against my niece.
Give him his money right now.
Oh, my
I
kids
fear.
are ringers.
I fear my next trip to New York. Like I'm going to totally get owned at Go Fish and Old Maid probably. And 765 might get downhill a little bit of ownage here. He does flop top pair against Aaron's over pair plus gutter.
The piano man.
No, that's Billy Joel.
Wait, hold on. Does it concert called piano
Aaron
man?
makes it 50 downhill calls and it checks dark.
No, I'm almost sure that one of his albums is called
Clubs
the
on the
piano man.
turn. Nobody has a club. Nobody
Yeah, you
knows
got a phone
that.
on that?
That's Billy Joel.
So you go check, check.
I'm so certain Billy Joel's the greatest.
And is that a 9? I believe Aaron's just river to set, but the bad news is the
Four-liner.
up there, and we're 4 to a straight.
Sir. Well, he looked like you know about Elton John. Huh? Do you know about? Is Elton John's nickname the Piano Man?
No, that's Billy Joel.
Oh.
So,
Aaron makes it 100.
I could have told you that. I was right there with value,
The
but I
Piano
went
Man
too
and
big.
Elton John is not associated with each other.
I don't know. Oh, you didn't.
Well, I'm a foreigner, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foreign to me.
Yeah,
Sorry?
Where are you from?
I'm from Amsterdam.
River to set.
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Flew all
To
the way
answer
over
a
here
touch
just to
French
play with
question, Billy Joel and Elton John have performed together, but they are not an act together.
Oh, I
And
bet.
Billy Joel is the piano man. As a Long Islander, this is mandatory knowledge for me.
In fact, when I graduated from high school, I went and lived in Amsterdam.
Oh, really?
Are you a Billy Joel man or an Elton John man? I'm assuming Billy Joel, right?
Yeah, I would lean Billy Joel. I've seen them both in concert. I've seen Joel twice. Elton just once.
I think I have you out pipped. I think I've seen Joel. I think I've seen Joel 3
It still
times.
serves its purpose, I guess.
You don't have to go.
Never Elton John.
They don't look at it the same.
Elton John, I saw him play after the F1 race one year down here in Austin.
It's like a red light.
It was the year that the state flooded and we all stood in the mud,
The red light district.
but it was worth it.
Caitlin, I'm gonna figure out how the piano man.
Billy Joel played there last year after the Saturday night, I think, and saw him there and saw him back when I lived in Seattle. I gave him the stadium tour. He'd gone up to Seattle.
Piano Man was definitely Billy Joel.
Yeah, I saw him at Madison Square Garden once and once in Central Park, and I forget the third.
Yeah, 40.
But Victor, you're asking if this is live. It's on a 15-minute delay.
That is right, 15 minutes away.
Oh, Scobone, you beat me to it, but yeah.
King Jack 9, downhill top pair, Anderson with a gutter. Does not get there on that deuce turn.
You may be thinking about that because they said he played
Downhill
$50
phone
piano
over some value.
in Vegas.
Yeah, I think it's like every time you go to a piano bar.
Going for it.
I ask them to play that. Get that.
7 of clubs, interesting river. It does complete some stuff.
Because he got 45 there, not 43. I
Downhill. Kind of bet it here that 8 of clubs does block some of that stuff, and Anderson is let it go.
Pretty good today. You better be careful.
Oh, you're already
Yes,
running?
so 15 minutes away. The way this works is Slow Poker and I are watching images that happened 15 minutes ago,
Thought I was trying to read his phone or something.
and we're seeing them just a couple of seconds before you're seeing them.
Even if you tried, you couldn't see it.
So we're live with you in the chat,
Read it that
and
far away anyway.
everything else is in the past.
But they were really, they got to work just all those guys.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I can't figure it out that fast, but
John, you have the option
they
to
have-
put
yeah.
the 10
That's
on.
right.
doesn't really
Keep
matter.
it with you instead.
That Michael guy was playing mighty different.
Back to dating ourselves, right?
I met him in Vegas.
Yeah,
He was in Vegas. I thought he was away.
I own it at this point.
It is alive.
He saw that we were playing.
I mean, my poker channel is my brand is being an old man, so
He tightened right up.
Hey, we all get
Might
old
as well.
eventually,
might as well
if we're
double down.
lucky enough.
Thank you.
I thought you
Agreed.
didn't have to skin them anymore.
Yeah, you just have to
6
send
raised
him over
to
there.
35, 7 fold, 8 fold, 9 fold, 1
This
fold,
table
2
take, you gotta
fold.
leave it for like 2 seconds.
Three
It
fold.
takes a little bit to read them.
It just got refelted, so they're working out some stuff. 4
So how's
call,
Black plays full
5
control?
Huggy
raised
opens
to
his
125.
suited ace up to 35. Anderson with the Jack 6 suited
6 call,
wants to continue, and
Too many.
4
I'm gonna
call.
stack him down already.
now God makes it 125 with a 10, and another card which I'm guessing is another 10, if I had a guess. And there's a 10 in the window, and it's the highest card of the board, so things are looking pretty good for John here.
5 got 200.
We know it's the best hands.
I mean, it's like any other job, right? Like you get tired, you get bored, or
Yeah.
run back.
John will continue for $200.
Any number of things that can
Either player with a holding of much substance. Huggy's gonna call.
I'm not gonna play or whatever.
Wonder if his hand was read correctly.
Me today, I'm playing hooky for my job.
Yeah.
6 on the
There
turn.
was
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. Right?
not much left to chase.
Sell candy and nuts.
Oh, that's right. You already mentioned that. Candy and nuts. Candy
John makes it 500.
I've had his nuts.
Huggy doesn't even have a kicker to go with his AC. It's gonna fold now.
You had his
You have to
nuts.
really believe that John doesn't have it.
No, that's what
Yes,
he
you
does.
have back doors, but
Candy and
you're gonna face exactly the bet that you faced on the turn.
That's not what I'm talking about. You said you had his nuts. That's what we want.
I think you need more backdoors than those backdoors.
Sam Mac.
Or a deeper stack to pot ratio. One or the other.
And I think one of you in the chat was excited that we said backdoors, so take another shot.
Live 10.
Yeah, that would be the
No,
drinking
the truth
game.
is I threw myself at Sam and he wouldn't have me, John. Threw myself.
I understand that shit. I've done that several
Eugene backdoor everything in an overcard, but if he did have pocket tens, then they don't want to see that ace.
Yeah,
But
he's
Yeah.
falling behind a child.
You fathered his child.
I sired
You're right.
his child, yes.
You're right.
The golden retriever is mine.
also maybe he had some evil intentions.
Raised to 35, 9
Yes,
fold,
potentially.
1 fold, 2 fold, Doug.
Jack 9 for Mike. He's at 35. Downhill gonna set mine with his threes.
So Matt came in.
I saw he took my.
Huggy with a 10 and a
mystery card again.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it's one card that's not scanning.
I
That
mean,
just
pocket
happens.
tens would make sense.
Queen 5-3. Bottom set for downhill. Feel like we haven't seen too many sets tonight. Checks over to downhill, who makes it with his set. And
Sorry, we're
a couple of folds.
hitting on my husband. Thank
Your
you.
husband over there?
That's mine.
That's baby
He
daddy.
fathered my child.
That's baby daddy.
He's sired.
How do you know he's sorry?
Because he's the only one that could have.
You're sure about
What
that?
do people want to clean?
No immaculate conceptions around
It
here.
was the Holy Spirit. Tell us the truth.
Yeah, it was either him or the Holy Spirit. Small blinds.
I keep hoping that somebody will tell me mine online.
I'll tell you for you. It won't make a
I
difference.
got good ones.
Okay, if you're going to come in here and just start talking crap in the chat, I am going to time you out. You know who you are. Fun fact, I'm also a mod.
You get the whole house yourself? Oh my gosh.
I think the maid's even leaving.
I almost made a Mod Rashad joke, and then I realized that would date me too, so I'll stop.
Barricade the windows. Don't let anyone in.
The fuck they get lost.
Was it 35
Well done.
30.
I didn't even think that.
Not
I
really.
didn't go that route, yeah.
That makes it even easier.
Yeah. I am a dad. Again, this is very on brand, all the puns and the dad humor. This is what I'm supposed to do when I'm on the clock.
For more great dad jokes, subscribe to Slow Poker on YouTube.
A+, baby. What was your grade?
Seriously, go pinch his channel.
Yeah. Do you have anybody
Am
playing?
I would say they're better than these, but
I got the
not necessarily.
Battle of the
He's got
Kings
3
Buffalo
jacks.
on my opponent, and I've got the
And-
Rams.
Not going to get any additional value. But you know what? Here we're doing it live. Like you know, it's different than you have the chance to revise and edit and all that. And
Hey, Evan, that card back there. Hey, that
That's
card
true.
there.
And I
you
do
were
spend
right.
far too
I've
much
done it
time
a
on
lot.
that side of it.
I stayed with my godfather, who was president of SEDCO, Southeastern Drilling Company.
you very much care about your craft.
Yeah, well,
That's
I mean,
the positive
all you had to
spin.
do was drop Julio.
I do, yeah. But sometimes I just wish I was a Twitch streamer and could just do this on the fly. But instead, I went the
The hobby.
heavy prep route, which I really love doing, but it takes a lot of time.
I respect the hell out of the bloggers, though. Honestly, I mean, like I could never deal with the workload of what it takes to make a good blog. Like this is about the maximum amount of effort I could put in content-wise, especially
Probably not.
you know having a career of my own outside of poker. So yeah, come in here and run my mouth for 4 hours like that. That I can do. We see a few players entering this pot. Aaron with a suited ace wheel, Huggy with a baby pair, and John
With 2 cards.
with some pot odds.
They're spending their time and efforts to be in a production.
And Huggy gonna get himself bottom set.
Have you not met
Mine
with
bet 60.
Checks over Aaron, who continues for 60. John gets out of the way.
You're such a phenomenal, charming, charismatic personality, I'm sure.
And Huggy just called. Wants to give Aaron every chance to keep bluffing
I know can open his mouth and
or keep value betting a king. Aaron does pick up a cut shot on this 4 of spades turn.
Hey, you're upsetting the baby.
9 bet 200. It's actually moving around a lot.
Aaron gonna take the bait. He makes it 200.
He's trying to bring out a baby.
I'm Huggy. I'm just calling again. This board really didn't get any scarier with the 4. If it were a Broadway card, I'd be a little more concerned.
crowded up there.
He's going to go the check raise route. Going to make it 700, it looks like. And that will conclude the hand.
Yeah.
especially.
I don't mind the check raise there. I mean, if the heart hits, that could just stall the action for both the sides. And
You,
if,
you could justify either line for sure.
Joseph?
you know,
The one that was there before,
Since then, I've just.
married to a black gal, what's his name? He ain't happy.
I'm sure if Huggy knew how far behind.
Yeah, like if you
Miller
knew
was
Aaron
there.
had absolute butt kiss, then
Why don't we just have it on the
absolutely just let him keep firing if that's what he wants to do.
If anybody can change around on this table.
See if I can find myself a football score here.
Kevin? What's with the
Has that even
sunglasses?
started yet? Okay, Buffalo's
Maybe
winning.
not.
See how you feel.
Okay.
Why are you staring into it? You
Good
looking
for
down?
Buffalo.
Right in my eye.
The one true New York team.
Hey, Anson, you got some rough
Yes.
folds.
I'm gonna go get my second last light.
No, I wear them for the lights, son.
You what?
I wear them for the lights. They bother me.
7 call. 8 call.
Well, I think we should all.
9
This is the first hand nobody raises pre-flop.
3 players.
Yeah, it's the first limp pot of the night.
Well, I don't know. My friends
Yeah.
Worst play in poker.
And sometimes we get lineups that love to limp, and then sometimes they love to put those raises in.
9
And Queen 10-3 is not going to connect with anybody. They're all going to check.
20.
At 4 on the turn that nobody has. King High is the best hand at the moment. Aggression is going to win the day for Amnesty.
That's at least the third value bluff
It was not a very big game, really.
we've seen tonight.
I mean, they're playing games with this fucking.
Might not even be a bluff there. Could just be straight value. Nobody's shown any interest yet.
Just straddles and.
No, I hear you.
Sammy Fold'em,
5-10 over there.
new commentators. Yeah, come on, hop in the booth.
3K cap
It's a,
on the 5-10.
Oh, Jay
come on,
Williams.
come on and spice it up a little bit. I should say we were talking before about vloggers, and what's nice, I think, because there's so much work involved and so much, you know, kind of passion behind what everyone's doing. There's like it's a nice community. I think everyone just sort of has a certain amount of empathy for what it takes to just sort of all the behind the scenes work. I know it's we're not saving lives, but everyone seems to kind of have each other's backs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you see a lot of great people for sure in the content space. And
There's
you know what?
one terrible person. I won't name who they are, but they're
Oh yeah, they're the
absolutely-
worst. That person is the worst.
They're the worst. Yeah. Their first name might be Ashley. I'm not going to say if that's true or which Ashley, but it might be someone named Ashley.
Ooh, shots fired.
I didn't shoot in any particular direction. I'm just
Yeah, you're firing blinds. We have Aaron and John both with the top pair here on this King 9-3 board.
9 call.
John makes it 150. Aaron gonna call. Neither player gonna love their kicker here. 10 on the turn.
5 bet.
Puts up a second flush draw that nobody has. John's 300 gets a call, and the Queen River does put 4 to a straight on the board, probably, and puts the spades up, kills the action, and also chops the pot up with neither kicker playing anymore.
Eugene, you mentioned vloggers are wising up to fish. What I do is I give bad poker advice, and so therefore I'm actually helping you. So the fish are, if they watch what I do and follow what I do, then you win. So you're welcome.
You do accidentally make a good point, where you got to be careful where you're getting your content from, right? It could just be like total nonsense. There could also be some quality stuff out there.
Yeah, this TV's fucked. They can't put it on there.
Live 20 double straddle.
Yeah, of all the poker bloggers out there, I would. There's only a few that are very good at poker. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can pick and choose.
Where you
Yeah,
go?
Where you, who
there's
you learn
definitely
from.
some people who know what they're talking about.
Amsterdam.
Four folds.
And there's some people who just love to
5 folds.
run insane bluffs
7 folds.
and get there sometimes
That's his offensive coordinator.
and then make a block about it.
9 folds.
Are you gonna name names, William?
I'm not.
You're like, I just want to keep this one.
I'm sure he don't 65.
65
It's gonna be bad,
heads up.
real bad.
We got another heads-up pot brewing here in this double straddled pot. 754 is going to give Mike a pair and an open-ender. Downhill not rewarded for defending his straddle, except now he does pick up a spade draw.
8 bet 90.
Mike's bet does not get paid.
Thank you.
And we'll get another pot going. Ragnar wondering what keeps making the Mario coin noise. I assume that's somebody's ringtone out on the table. And Eric speculating that maybe Coins is thinking about playing. I haven't heard from Coins in forever, so wherever you are, Coins, hope you're doing well. Somebody who played on our 510 shows for a long time, and then our original host, Mike, he had a whole bunch of sound effects teed up, and that would be one of them. Coins would take one down, and you go for the coins. And some 8s for Huggy. Makes it 35. Gets the call from Amsty, who is looking to play some hands tonight. 9-8 offsuit. Aaron with the suited king. Going the aggressive route here on the button, making it 175.
Got any breath mints on you, John?
Certainly hands where you're happy to take it down pretty.
Talk about the real
I knew. I was just double checking because I can't help in that department.
big pills. When I leave, come out there, I'm not staying much longer, but I'm not all right. Try these, they're new, but they're pills.
They look like a son of a bitch to swallow.
Kim,
7 folds, 9 folds.
Keep trying.
Thank
Keep
you.
up.
Anytime I see somebody
I said they look like a son of a bitch to swallow.
yeah, it's like what?
And
You should have raised that.
I was momentarily distracted. We saw the 4-bet from Huggy.
Live.
Huggy made it 500 and took it down.
Live 25.
Apologies for missing that action. The chat distracted me.
Scientist, because you're gonna know, figure out exactly what I had.
You were doing God's work, William.
I was doing God's work there.
Live 25.
Not really,
6
honestly.
folds.
You miss New Mexico?
But I love that 4-bet, and I got to call that out there.
8 folds.
Yeah,
Was that the
every
king
time I
4
go
suited?
outside and just
4-bet?
sweaty.
He had the pocket 8s. Aaron
The pocket
had put
eights?
in the
Oh.
squeeze. Aaron put in the 3-bet squeeze on the button, and Huggy sniffed that out masterfully.
Not dry one.
Wow. I'm impressed. I missed that.
And certainly
I gotta pay
hands
attention.
where
4 folds.
certainly hands where you don't want to necessarily play out of position. Like you need to hit your 8.
5 folds. 3
Like you can mix in a 4-bet every now and then, especially if you have an opponent as capable and as aggressive as Aaron is.
I like
Queen
it.
7-7 as we went three ways to this flop. John potentially in some trouble here, flopping queens with a 10, downhill with queens with an ace, however.
4-bet 275, or sorry, 5-bet 275.
Checks over to John, who makes it 275. Downhill quickly calls. King of diamonds on the turn. Overcards are no fun. Downhill now going to lead for 500. And John not going anywhere yet. To the river we go. 10 on the river. Queens and 10s for John. He's happy to just go check, check there, which is a little surprising.
Woo!
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Not going for any value there.
Thank you.
This is how you win.
That said, John does increase his stack by nearly $1,000.
I see Jesse, it must be about that time.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that river action.
Yeah.
I guess a random the ace jack draw got in if there's ace jack suited. Maybe I mean it was paired board, so
Like, what is it, time
not
for
out of the
bump?
woods.
No, it's time for Carly
Well,
to go.
Not
there was,
ideal for sure.
6 fold. There was like
Yeah.
debate on whether he should push in like right on the hour mark, 7 fold, 8 fold, or if he should push in at the 45 because we start at the 45. 9 range to 50, 1 fold, 2 fold, 3 fold.
Aaron makes it 50 over Amsty's limp.
To do the extra 15 minutes. 4
Anderson calling with ace-7 offsuit in the big blinds. I feel like that's more of a 3-bet or fold usually. Instead, he's going to be out of position 3 ways for the hand that is often dominated, and I say that, and a 7 makes its appearance. And Anderson has the best hands because that's how this game works.
9's at 100.
Does check over to Aaron. Does have the over and the backdoor diamonds.
4 call.
Makes it little under half pot, $100. Anderson going nowhere with a pair. Amsty with the underest of under pairs. Has the fold, having only 1 out that's queen.
Like F1,
Yeah.
y'all's boys doing good,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Heads up to a 9 turn,
Better than his dad.
which is going to give Aaron a gut shot.
There's not much comparison.
No, he's doing amazing.
9 check.
Ain't better.
Few more outs for him. We go check, check.
He will.
It may be next year.
This King River will not be what Aaron's looking for. The pair of 7s will be good for Anderson if it gets the showdown.
I don't say no.
And they stayed with him because he was screwing up
Yeah,
at first. I
he
mean,
was.
way too
It's a
aggressive.
good card to rep.
Yeah. I mean,
You could certainly tell the story here that you had ace king and he just spiked.
Sport, though, man.
Showdown.
Enough of Hamilton winning.
Aaron does go for the bet. I think it was 275. Gets snapped by Anderson,
I'm gonna hit you, B.
who decided to bluff Pat.
Not betting diamonds, but good hand.
Gets rewarded with the pot, and
All
he
the other blockers.
rewards Carly with some of those dollar bills.
I'm not
And
making the
also-
pre-flop call, and I'm not making the river call, but I don't have a lot
Yeah.
of chips headed my way.
Hey, you just won a bunch of money with a hand that I would have folded pre as well. But hey, we're nits.
Yeah.
But the key thing is, though, every now and then, take that reputation and do something surprising.
Oh no, I'm playing the long con.
Like those of you who didn't see Monday night's show, like there was a hand where I decided to 4-bet ace-4 suited,
Yeah, for stopping, he's
Pre-flop.
doing good. I don't know how long it's gonna
and
last.
it worked. I don't know what the guy had because I haven't watched back yet, but I think it was a better ace. Speaking of better aces, Caitlin has a pretty good one there with ace-king. Makes it 55.
3 raised to 225. 4 fold.
Ooh, it's a bad time for the ace-5 offsuit.
Downhill is going to step in it here.
7
does happen when you bluff, though, every now and then you just bluff into a hand that's never going away. Caitlin had a position probably going the 4-bet route. Number 650, and she gets the fold before she even gets the chips out there.
Malton through and through. You think he'll ever forgive me?
Props to Downhill for not trying to make a show out of it. It's like, yeah, you got me. I fold.
I'm gonna take you back to Amsterdam.
I've been begging him to. He keeps leaving me on red, breaking my heart. This man. Fucking man.
So someone asked earlier about AFQ. That's aggression frequency, right?
That's right. That is aggression frequency. I'm glad you remember that because I totally forgot that that question got asked because I don't know. I got distracted.
I forgot about it until I just saw it on the screen.
And there you go.
I
At
think
least
when
you got
someone-
reminded.
I think so when I saw it before, I thought they said asked about ABQ, which I think is Albuquerque's airport code.
That sounds right.
So we have all the answers here on
TCH Live.
TCH Live. Yep.
That's
Really
the
ask
show
us
we're on.
anything. Yeah. Sorry, I almost said THC Live.
That was a few hours ago.
Yeah.
Take my money, free money.
Yep. I'm sure no one's made that mistake before.
Never. That's the first time. 2.5 years. It's finally happened.
Yep.
Tell you what else has finally happened. Anderson flopping top pair. On this King Jack 7 board, Anderson with the king and the backdoor spades. A 60-hour bet. Getting called by John, who just has backdoors. None of which show up with this 3 of clubs on the turn. And Anderson now gets the quick fold.
Now I don't know, John. I don't know any of these players' tendencies. Is that strictly backdoor chasing, or is it like what percentage of that do you think is a float?
I really think he's just going after backdoors here. I'm not all that familiar with John myself, but for what I've seen so far, he's been playing a lot of hands. And if he has any kind of a draw, it does seem like he's at least getting to the turn.
Because it's hard to see on such a rainbow flop what exactly, what kind of turn card you'll be using. You can.
Here we go.
Like a
You
queen.
can mess around with on the.
Like,
Yeah, I guess a
like
queen.
Or a
maybe
queen
10.
would be nice. Like a 10 would be good. A heart would be good.
Yeah.
Like 10 of hearts is probably a gin card for him to keep going.
Yep. All right, I stand corrected.
But I mean, that said, that is pretty thin to keep going.
Yeah.
A nice simple topic.
The one thing I'll say is that they are playing so deep that you could reasonably pile a bunch more money in relative to the pot if you get there.
Sorry.
Huggy with the queen jack makes it 50. Mike in the straddle is pipped, but he is going to defend there. 8-5-3. Does not help either player's cause. Huggy
I put my
putting
borrowed
up
one on
a
the
bet.
table.
You can borrow mine. You don't lose it. You don't get stacked.
Yeah, I always have them with me, but nobody plays anymore.
Mike with
Anderson
2
always
up.
lets me
Mike
use
decides
his.
to continue here.
I don't know what kind of Pokemon he has. Look at that. That thing looks like.
I don't know. I'm using one of my good ones. I don't think that's the good one.
Look at this. This is like a. This is a fake one.
Mike has gone for a raise here.
There we go.
I feel like that might be coming.
He's at 110. And now Huggy going to just go away.
Nice, right?
Did have the better hands, but could not stand the heat.
Oh, you have Bulbasaur. No, that's not Bulbasaur. Squirtle. There you go.
I know that.
Squirtle. I was close with
Starting to hear
Bulbasaur.
some Pokemon talk at the table. I wonder if Anderson has revived the Pokemon game that was a fixture for a while. It started in San Antonio, made its way up here. What you do is you get one of these little Pokemon figures, and you have it on the table. If somebody else with a Pokemon fully stacked you, or want a pot of 5K or more, you get their Pokemon.
150 to start. 20.
And then
I wonder if that's back on
Yeah, that'll be one about
as a part of Mr. Anderson's wild ride here on TCH
1100
Live.
different?
Yeah.
the real.
But this is one of the
Glad to have you all along
That's-
for the ride,
These boys are out of Atlanta.
whether you're on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or Twitter
No question.
or anywhere else.
Hey, Anderson, he said that this is one of the first original 300 Pokemon.
Or like 350, something like that.
I thought this was a bootleg
mean, I don't
It's like
Pokemon.
Doug is
Made on
raised
Amazon.
$60 with 6'3", which is not a good idea, usually, especially when one of the 9 players or 8 players behind you wakes up with Ace King. Anderson makes it 225. Napsty has King Queen.
Show me.
Considering what he's played tonight, he might be thinking this is a nuts. He's actually going to fold. I wouldn't have been surprised to see a re-raise. Now, Mike with Ace Jack,
Why do you ask him? I'm just curious.
he sees the only position raise in a 3-bet. He decides to just milk himself out of there.
More cash on you if you don't keep thinking like that.
Actually, this is all my
That's your
HOA
whole,
money.
what's your, that's it, huh?
What is Doug
Yeah,
doing
that's
here?
about it.
You better start talking to him more. Quick.
Doug calls. I'm assuming this hand was read correctly.
You really won't talk to him.
Your player connects with 10-9 deuce. They go check, check. 7 of clubs turn. Ace King is still ahead, but
How much does that
can't be
run?
feeling great about it. Also, Doug does have a gut shot now.
When I won second, I got 16.
Anderson
Lot of
checks
outs.
back.
Thing up there?
There's one of them.
3 on the river. Pair of 3s for Doug.
And with this being the series or whatever, it might be bigger.
Oh boy.
Good.
Check, check. Anderson decided to take his Ace King to showdown.
Whoa, did they
There
not
must have
get
been a
right?
misread. I think Doug just mucked
Yeah.
his hand. Either there was a misread or Doug misread his hand. Like there's a misread either by the computer or by Doug.
Or there's a third option. He'd rather fold and avoid the shame.
Yeah, so
We don't know.
a pair of 3s not worth the hundreds of dollars he stood to make there.
It's possible.
Wow. I have no idea what happened there.
Yeah, I guess that was a card read error. Although I think there was a TCH hand I saw recently where someone got it in like a 5-bet jam with 6-3 offsuit against pocket tens. I think it was TCH, one of the TCH
Yeah,
streams.
I'm sure that's a thing that's happened.
Almost got
So
there
many
too.
hands I can't even keep up with them.
Well, I guess that's why they're taking a break.
But I like it because
Be sure and subscribe to Best TCH Poker Hands if you want to see our
Invite them out to lunch.
best hands. We put those out as shorts. Also some highlights on the main channel every now and then.
9 fold. One call.
Huggy made it 60 with King 9. Amsty just calls with Ace Queen, which invites a couple of straddles to defend here.
company in Colorado.
We go 4 ways to a flop.
Oil again.
Queen Jack 8, couple of spades. Lots of action
Everyone gets a
here.
piece of that.
Caitlin open-ended. Huggy with a gut shot.
Substantially.
Doug with a pair. Amsty with top pair.
Yeah, I'm not sure what PDC stands for.
7 would be an interesting card.
7 could be the chaos card for sure.
Friend gave me it.
King could be spicy as well. Checks over to Amsty, who makes it 135. Caitlin with the open-ended straight draw. 2 spades on the board, none in her hand.
I mean,
She is going to raise here,
definitely a volatile time, right? Price is going through the roof and then
showing a lot of strength in this multi-way pot. Makes it 325.
25 is your bet.
That's not the problem, promise.
Amsty has a reasonable price to continue here. There's going to be a lot of cards he doesn't want to see, assuming he's even ahead, because obviously 10-9 has him basically dead.
225 total.
Okay, yeah, Caitlin has the nuts. What am I saying?
Yeah, I know. I was about to tell you.
She has the nuts. I'm an idiot.
so no
But still a lot of cards that we don't want to see.
Offshore, they got it where
I can't count to 5. I can't count to 5.
I didn't know it was my place, and you know, as
You
commentator
can
to point
absolutely,
out.
if I'm an idiot, feel free to say I'm an idiot. Caitlin makes $900. Anstey is drawing dead here.
Plus, you don't know what they're gonna do from 1 minute to the next. So that makes
I mean, she's open-ended to like a 6-card straight.
Yeah, she could make the 6-card straight. That's right. She has backup. She could make a king high straight.
we had never been energy sufficient in 30 years, 25, 40
Tricky
years.
spot for Amsty, though, in all seriousness, because he is beating a draw.
Not even within 5 million.
Like,
barrels
he
a day.
is beating King 10. He is beating spades.
But now he's kicking himself for not 3-betting pre.
We import 10 million barrels a day.
Yeah, if he 3-bets pre, Caitlin probably never even sees this flop.
That's a lot of fucking lead eyes for us to try to make up for that.
Good fold.
Feels like a card funeral, and there we go. So, yeah, if I miss that she has a straight, feel free to correct me. I don't even look at the percentages. I try to outsmart myself sometimes. And, yeah, Caitlin flopped the nuts, and she won. Ragnar Orby was wondering if the earnings graphic is messed up. I don't think it's messed up. We did have one player who got stacked and then left the game.
Lay down ace queen.
So that money still exists in this ecosystem. We do have a lot of winners, though. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if there is a number that's off.
Would you flop trips or 2 pair?
Couldn't say really that hand was so long.
That would suck if she
My
did.
favorite golf face.
He appreciates 6 raised to 65.
See Christian Soto in the chat. Hope you're doing well.
No, not until Thursday. They rescheduled my anatomy appointment. I know. Thank you.
Jay Stevens suggesting loyalty points for hitting the like button.
8 raised to 1.
Like, I'm sure that would generate some more points, but yeah. Mike's made it 190 with queens in this multiple straddles pot. Back over to Huggy. 5-4 suited in the hijack. Does continue here.
I do like the
See
5-4
if-
suited.
See if he can crack these queens and see if I can read the board when he does. I see 2 hearts, which is not enough to make a flush yet.
Correct.
Huggy does have the heart draw. And Mike does have the overpair.
150.
8 bet 150. Yeah, we're doing all that.
Mike makes it 150.
It's basically like they have like fancy hotel rooms for you to like.
If he gets called here, he has like almost half pot behind. I think Huggy is going to just go ahead and move all in. Mike going to snap him.
I'm gonna run it twice.
Twice is nice.
All right.
Huggy looking for a heart
Okay, I got you.
or some back doors. That's a 5, and now he can win with a 5 or a 4, but not with a 7. We'll go again.
More draws. Come on, do something.
Get a 3 and a deuce, and that will not quite do it. Mike is going to scoop there. Got the full double up.
5.
So
And yet
both
again in
run
the
out.
chat, someone had asked about the backdoor drinking game. So there you go. Take a shot.
Yeah, there you go. Like we see it come in on the turn on both boards, but then we don't quite get there. Anderson's stopping by the chat. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully we get some funner cards out there.
Thank
You're going to have a dealer change here,
I can teach you how to hit the river like
I
that.
appreciate it. That's really nice. Just 10.
which will lead to a pop pot here. So back after this.
Oh.
The whole way, and it's like, it's gonna be a chill game.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that little promo
That's
for
what
the
okay.
upcoming
I was like, I thought it
50K
was.
guaranteed tournament down at the Rio Grande Valley location coming up in just a couple weeks'
As soon
time.
as Caitlin sees me,
TexasCardHouse.com for complete details there.
No, you guys are all chill.
And we're at roughly the halfway point
Next time
here on
I promise
TCH
I'll
Live.
Ethan thought it's
William Lahti, the New York Knit with you with Slow Poker this evening as we go along for Mr. Anderson's Wild Ride.
This is my first time playing.
Special
I don't even know what
2-5 Nolan Holden this evening. Lineup put together by our friend Anderson. He's been with the
I
show
flew
from
all
the
way
early
from Amsterdam
days.
over here just to play this game. And meet a rocket scientist.
And
Never met a rocket scientist.
everyone's got their tents out there. And we got Jesse shuffling the cards up. And we're going to go to another double board PLO bomb pot. You thought I couldn't read boards and hold them. Just you wait.
It sounds vaguely European. That's what it
Sorry?
sounds like.
Oh, the hotel? Right by the water?
That's where I stay, yeah.
Oh,
I'll walk you through it, William.
And they overbooked and gave us
Much appreciated.
Ooh,
for free.
that's an expensive
No,
hotel.
no upgrade.
That's a super expensive
Yeah.
hotel.
No fees. It was legit. Catwalk to the executive gym, like 40 stories up, a catwalk across. Wow.
No, that's a super nice hotel.
He's then a couple of clubs. Queen 10-8, couple of diamonds. I see Caitlin has a straight on the bottom. That is a straight. And she does have a gut shot on the top. Anderson has pair plus draw on both sides. Diamonds on the bottom, straight draws on both. Caitlin potted it out of the small blinds. Where I usually check without looking at my cards. She has potted it $90. Anderson's called. John with ace king 6-3 is going to raise it up to $200. Holding just an ace and a couple of draws.
What's the logic there? I don't understand that in a comp pot.
John loves the action. Amsty right now is quartering Caitlin. He has the same straight. The Jack 9. He does have a 9 high club draw on the top. Mike is calling with his ace 9 7-3, which has an open ender and it has an ace. Back over to Caitlin who calls.
I'm trying to figure out the mid.
Anderson calls.
I thought she said 190, so I just threw 200 out there.
So we're going 5 ways to the turns, over thousands in the middle. A 10 and another 10. Gotta love that.
You can rest assured nobody has.
And see the graphics catch up. So Jack 9 no longer the nuts. Nobody holding that case 10. Right now, ace king is the best on the top. Now we have a deuce of clubs and then a jack. So ace king is now the top straight on the bottom. But it is Caitlin who is going to be scooping this pot with the jack high clubs and the jacks full of tens. She makes it $400.
Just like she drew it up.
Yeah, it just hit gin. Anderson is going to call with his ace king straight. So is John.
I got a straight and a flush.
And Amsty's going to call with his clubs, and Caitlin is going to scoop a huge one here.
I had a straight and
Careful what you wish for, Anderson. He wanted cards, and he caught just enough that he felt compelled to pay off.
you hit a 1 out on the bottom.
Amnesty pointing out that that was the case Jack on the bottom.
But I also have the flush up top.
But in all fairness, Amnesty was getting free rolled by Caitlin there.
I had ace king and then.
Like Caitlin had good clubs. Amnesty had clubs that were no good. So she was actually free rolling him on the top.
I'm gonna take one of those in a minute. 4 ways, Jesus Christ.
We'll get him shuffled up and go back to Holden here.
Good.
Quite the pot there.
Yeah, that puts me back even too.
Sometimes I think
$400 away from nothing.
I think in the heat of the moment people forget they're playing a bomb pot.
Damn,
A
Caitlin.
little entertainment value.
Straight?
Yeah.
And a flush.
For you, maybe.
Now you definitely forget that. Well, my straight could be good for just half,
Nice hand.
and not to mention paired board. Like I could just be against the boat.
That's why I hate bomb pots.
It's one of those deals where it's like I could be good on one side. I just call, but yeah, it's why these things are nasty.
Right. Well, but I not, and I don't mean to be too critical, but if you just have top pair, top kicker, and nothing else in Hold'em, that's great. But in the bomb pot, I mean, there's no way you're ahead.
Yeah, you had a bunch of uncapped ranges going to the flop. Like anybody could have anything. There's 9 of them. The rule with multi-way pots is somebody has it. Speaking of having it, Downhill has 2 pair with his Jack 4 that defended Straddle. Caitlin has 2 overs and she is going to float. And she will pick up a gut shot with this 9 of hearts on the turn. Over to Downhill. Probably feeling great with his 2 pair.
Hey, Anderson. Somebody text me. Tell Anderson he looks like a douche with his jacket on. Justin.
Aminus?
Colette.
Oh.
Caitlin is going to fold to that $200 bet and going to take it down.
They're all watching though. Been jacking off too. Shit.
Why he might have texted that a long time ago.
Yeah. Got too hot.
So what made you decide to start vlogging?
Man, you can't win. No jacket.
Well,
no jacket.
longish story, but the short one is that I'm a writer by trade, and I got into poker, and during quarantine, I just wanted to kind of try to find a way to combine those things. And so, yeah, I just tried to figure out a way to parlay my writing with poker, and I write comedy for a living. So I decided, let me make a comedy poker blog.
It's a long story, but
And I love making it. So so far it's been almost exactly a year since I started my first episode, and yeah, that's why I love poker, love comedy, love writing.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people love that you decided to take on that endeavor. So good stuff, and they've got Caitlin with kings here, going to make it 150.
Again.
That's the pair. Like we've seen the
Have we
ladies
even-
once or twice.
I don't think we've seen aces yet, have we?
I don't believe we have.
The kings like, at least
Caitlin.
4 times.
Caitlin is going to win unopposed here with those kings.
Oh, wow. Turn over the other way now.
Caitlin, by far the big winner. That bomb pot definitely helped her cause there, especially getting paid in so many spots when she just smashes the rivers.
Nothing like starting out a hand, possibly getting quartered, and then somehow scooping.
Yeah.
Some of us just start giving me this junk on my show, and it's embarrassing to play this shit. And somebody comes up the next day and says, well, you played that.
You're like, well, that's all I was getting, so I had to.
It's only 100 hands. You have to choose some.
Yeah. Can I just borrow those 2 cards from you?
Hey, good the devil.
What do we do here?
Ask and you shall receive.
I think Anderson would have asked for some action with those aces. That's the worst thing. You get like a giant pair in the big blind, and then you get a walk.
The worst.
You eat it.
Watch my last episode of my vlog.
We had a conversation on
Yeah.
Monday. It's like the best, like,
Yeah.
finish a poker.
Where in the fuck are you from?
San Antonio.
To spoil it for any new viewers.
Best restaurant they got down there.
I did lose with aces once or twice. It does happen. Sometimes.
I had a be careful what you wish for of my own one time in a tournament out in Houston a couple years ago. I was the day one chip leader, the whole tournament, like multiple flights. I was the day one chip leader. Early day two, I'm on the table with the only other guy with a million chips in the tournament. I got kings in the big blinds. I got a walk. Damn it!
Your immune system
And
is getting low. You better throw a little
an orbit later, I get kings in the big blinds again,
work it out.
and I don't get a walk. I instead get it in with the other guy who has a million chips, and I was not good. And he stopped the tournament, and I got not a very big cash at all. So yeah, be careful what you wish for.
Indeed.
John's fives were good before the flop. They're still good on the flop. Doug calling with Jack 6 for some reason. Does not pick anything up. John casually tosses $700 out there and ends it. Ragnar making a point. Caitlin is below the Lahti line right now. Below the 15% B pip. But she is winning, and that's important there. Hey, she's not below the Lahti line. What are you saying? 21%.
It's loose.
That's way above the line. Maybe it just feels that way. Like you have so many people.
One of my life goals is to one day have low VPIP named after me. I'm jealous, Lottie.
It was the chat that came up with it.
I mean, if I stop playing, I played one live stream and I stopped, and I had 4% VPIP, so that could be mine. I can claim 4%.
Yeah. No, you just have to come up with a catchy alliterative name.
Of course, I won't ever be invited back. Once you go 4% VPIP, why would you ever be invited on live stream? So
yeah.
I mean, that will just be my legacy.
Yeah, one and done. Just the mic drop. King Queen 8 is going to give downhill top pair. Huggy going for the 130. Unlikely to work. Downhill does call. Get the turn. 10 of hearts. Huggy does pick up the heart draw. And it's a little bit dicier for downhill here as this board gets straightier. Huggy also with the gut shot here. He does drill the nut hearts. And downhill with 2 pairs, so this is a potential chaos card. Huggy can bet here, and he's going to go for just 100. He goes pretty small. If he knew what downhill had, he'd probably go a lot bigger than that. Unless he's trying to induce a raise.
That's what I was thinking.
It would be really awesome if downhill raised with like what could easily be the best hand. That is a disguised 2 pair. And he slides out a whole bunch of those green $25 chips. We'll get the exact number. Looks like 700 total. And Huggy has one move here, which is going to be to move all in. It's just a matter of how much of a show he wants to put on first to, like, there it is. Not look like, hey, it's not even my birthday. And gonna get the count here. Is about 1,700 we can see. Downhill does cover him.
Nice. assume this is a show. You don't beat much here.
16, 92.
Yeah.
16, 92.
And you got the hearts that came in, and there's some two
Broadway.
pairs. Yeah, the Broadway is a possibility. Though he would have to have a gut shot that got in. Like there was no open ender that got there, but that is a possibility for sure. Or he could be turning Jack 10 into a bluff, and that's maybe what he's also thinking. This is one of the best rivers. He's going to flick it in, and he's going to see the bad news. I believe this is our Yeti cooler of the night.
All right, give it a spin. We'll get that spread again.
That $100 bet that induced the raise. That worked out to perfection.
Absolutely. Open the door for him to get the maximum out of downhill there. That Deuce of Hearts, definitely the chaos card.
Any of those dealers today, did you?
Yeah, it looked like maybe it was going to go out. My opponent had the sticker.
There was some bad, I mean, bad.
Always
I think
nice.
we were both thinking that Huggy was leaving some potential value on the table by just betting 100, but wow, that's max value right there.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe he'd picked up a read of some kind. Where that's that's a good card because you have the nuts, but you usually don't expect it to be that good for you in that it's a card that can get you paid. Like you don't expect the deuce to improve their holdings that often.
Right.
I mean, they should have all the.
Well played.
They hired 52.
Absolutely.
Their dealers on the payroll.
I think there's still 4 or 5. I know Brittany left for Red Star. Brittany's at Red Star.
Players checks, live stream.
A few of the others.
37's good. 37's good.
Good?
I have them as 5.
Alright, yeah, it's good. 6 is good.
Huggy riding high after that last hand. Opens up queen 9 of diamonds, makes it 50, gets the call from pocket fives, and 6-4 deuce is a pretty good flop for fives. He does have second pair plus gut shot. Huggy with overs and backdoor diamonds. We go check, check. 5 of diamonds on the turn, another potential chaos card. Huggy picks up the diamond draw, but Mike picks up second set. It is 4 to a straight, but how often is Huggy going to have a 3?
Players checks, live stream.
We see Huggy making it $30. Mike decides to press the raise button right here and now. Makes it 140.
Yeah, make sure you count it, 'cause that's my count.
Huggy does call.
I'm not gonna count it.
A lot of rivers Mike's not going to feel that comfortable about.
No, I counted.
I trust you.
I counted it twice.
Is that checking the dark?
Yeah, I may be an engineer, but I count it.
No, we're good.
2 of diamonds would be gin.
I need to replenish that.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Instead, we get the ace of clubs, which does not bring in any additional draws. Set of fives will be good for Mike.
John, let me walk through your chart.
Me too.
No, y'all aren't invited.
I'm
Y'all
the
aren't
one.
invited.
You should rather have me, John. I'm the most intimidating.
Mike goes for 350 of value and gets the immediate fold.
I'd like to apologize to all the viewers. I just said 2 of diamonds. I know it's a deuce, and I'm just tired. I'm very sorry. I apologize to every last one of you. I'm so sorry.
We'll allow it this time. We'll let it slide this time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'd like to be invited back. I'm I just feel terrible. Thank you. Thank you for understanding.
Give John one more chance.
Did you get this spot check?
Win some money.
You are 37 behind, so yeah. So 3700.
You can tell there's a lot that I'll let slide around here. Hey, I don't know how they put up with me sometimes.
I let that flop straight slide, so we're even.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So we have an $80 straddle on, and John's called the straddle with the dirty diaper. Caitlin is going to make it considerably more with ace queen. Makes it $400. I'd go about $20 bigger if I were her.
Good turns.
This is getting a call.
If I win this hand, you should.
John did not come here to fold. 2 big cards against 2 little cards. Who you got here?
I was going to say Caitlin, but now it sounds like it's, results oriented.
Caitlin goes for the small 125. King 10-9. He's got a gut shot, and John has backdoor diamonds. And he calls somehow. Caitlin now picks up a pair of aces with a check
If it
shot.
hits, I can't call. If they gonna hit, fuck, I got a deuce and a three. What you want me to do?
Caitlin made it 100. Think she got called? I don't know.
I think she got called on the flop.
Take care. Good luck.
I got in the river. Like that,
Seat open, live
that may have
stream.
been a fold.
I think they just checked down.
I think
turn it
John's
over.
decided to call it a night.
Yeah, I learned the hard way in my first live stream when I played on a live stream in Texas. I won't say which, but there was I played with King Kai, who I know is renowned in the area, and yeah, I had a very interesting flop float from King Kai.
He brings
And
the action.
oh yeah.
We've had him on this program a few times.
I didn't think about the backdoor tricks.
Oh, it's over to Aaron, who makes it 125 with his ace-6. I think we had the live 40 on this hand. Downhill going to defend the straddle with the jack-9. And is going to smash this flop top pair plus open ender. Aaron without a whole lot, though. And Aaron just gives up. Check folds on what is an awful board for him.
What board is really good for ace-6 offsuit?
Well, a board that has an ace, or a board that has a 6, or a
Three
board that
sixes.
has like cards around to 6. You know, or maybe you could make one of those things where it's 5 in a row. I think they call that straight.
I stand corrected.
Oh, yeah, like ace-6 offsuit sucks.
That's why you play below the Lahti line, excuse me.
That's right. That said, it's like almost blind versus blind there.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And an ace is okay there.
I know you're more a tournament player, but how wide do you defend your straddle when you play cash?
When I play cash, really it's kind of similar to what I do for my big blinds. Like if I'm closing, the point is I'm closing the action is the thing, right? I'm closing the action and am I in position or am I out of position? As we see downhill with a gut shot and Aaron continuing with the betting lead. Downhill going to call there. So that queen will not help downhill. It will give Aaron a gut shot of his own. Yeah, so just like if I'm in a traditional big blinds, am I in position or out of position? So small blinds, I'd be in position, right? And then how deep are we playing? I'm still asking those same questions. And Aaron will get it done with that second barrel. with what was the best hands, the second nut no pair.
Seat open, live stream.
That's a cute ass dog.
See
Yet
if we can
again, the
fill
value
this
bluff.
5 seat once again.
Seat open.
Hey, if he's going to float you with 8-4, then go for value.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in San Antonio, right?
Yeah, I played Bellagio
Right back. Give me like 4 hours.
510 when I was in Vegas for the World Series of Poker, and I played next to Damon Burton, my fellow poker blogger, and he let me sweat him when he was on a double or triple straddle, and I forget what he had, but I think it was 6-4 offsuit, and he folded, and I yelled at him for a good 5 minutes because I'm told you're supposed to defend pretty much everything, but I think 6-4 offsuit was just at his limit.
That's pretty light, yeah. Well, also depends on the price you're getting. Am I facing a min raise? Am I facing a 5x, right?
Right. Yeah,
Like the bigger they go, the less I have to defend because I'm getting worse sides.
Pretty big. I think it was a 4 or 5x.
Our friend Pocket Kings, once again, this time heading Doug's way. Gonna put in the 3-bet. Let's do 175. Anderson with the ace-9 of diamonds. The original raiser is gonna call. And then we got a bunch of suited gappers here. Over to Huggy.
Huggy's rolling. He might want to see a flop.
I think we get the avalanche again. Like once Anderson calls, everyone's going to feel priced in behind them. And there's Huggy, Amsty with the 7-5 suited. My favorite hand for messing around. Though I prefer 7-5 clubs for whatever reason.
And then we need an all spade flop.
Sure. And somehow get to a turn that has a king.
With a 9. Okay,
Amsty going to go away. Aaron not going to go away. Here we go. 4 ways. This flop has a lot to live up to. Queen 8-8. What the hell's that? Give me another flop. This one's boring. Doug's still well ahead with his kings. That said, in a 4-way pot, we don't really love the paired board. There's just so many random trips out there. The good news is this is not very draw heavy at all.
You see, it looks like you're staring me down, and I'm on a spot. That's the problem.
I'm just trying to give you a reflection of yourself. Your hair's looking so good,
Aw, thanks, honey.
Doug makes it 400, and everyone's going to fold because somehow nobody had it that time.
Miracle of miracles.
The exception that proves the rule about multi-way pots.
No. No.
I thought the big pocket pairs seem to keep winning, which is, I mean, have we seen an overpair lose yet?
I don't think so. We haven't really seen any blood yet. I think the closest we came was we had like a pair versus pair that ran twice and chopped.
Right, the queens and 9s.
But we have not seen the pain yet.
No, I haven't looked that far out. So I
mean, the jacks versus 10s, but
I've just been
jacks immediately won that pot.
for these big turns.
I'm sorry, it's on me.
And now Doug has 10s. It's not kings, but it'll do. Downhill has something that he's re-raising with. Doug looking at how deep they're playing. Wonder if he calls here. Probably just calls here. He does do just that. $410 in the middle. We go heads up to a flop. Jack 6-5. Only one over for Doug's 10s, and it's not the scary one. Checks the pre-flop raiser. Downhill, who will slide out $150 worth of chips. Easy call for Doug. He does also have the backdoor clubs. And I see a 9 of spades on the turn. Should be another relatively safe turn for pocket tens.
Wow, what a catch. That's Cooper Cup for you. Holy shit.
So checks again, downhill, makes it 500, gets called, and downhill does not show his cards. Don't know what he's got there.
You're right on the money. You look so sad, Caitlin.
I look sad.
Look like your cat died.
Anyone else watching the football game? That's a good question. I'm doing a show, otherwise I'd be watching football.
This gig where I coached ladies.
I do see Buffalo up 10-7 approaching halftime.
And they moved their game to a new venue. It's this private social club.
Do you play fantasy football, William?
I don't. I'm not in any leagues this year. Like, I would happily have joined somebody's league. The one possibility ended up full, unfortunately.
I swore it off in my early 20s, but my 8-year-old son got so excited about it, so we have our own team together. We're managing. So I think we have Bills running back tonight, so I should take a look.
Well, good luck to you two this season.
Oh, well, thank you.
We see all the jacks accounted for here.
Yeah, you have to just fucking.
Mike raised with the king jack of clubs.
Yeah, I don't enjoy that either.
Doug with the ace jack of spades. Huggy going for the squeeze with the ace jack of hearts. Over the raise and 3 calls. And this has a chance of working. I might have gone a little bit bigger given how much money was in the middle.
You play a lot of stream games.
That's why this ass so high and tight.
Mike gonna call with the dominated jack,
I'm getting pretty good. My cyclist said I
which
slayed.
is going to invite Doug to come along. Ace jack of spades. 3 ways to a flop. No more jacks coming. But there's the king. King jack with the double suck out there. Doug and Mike both with backdoor flush draws. Huggy going to put out the C bet.
In the 350.
225
In the 350.
was the pre-flop razor.
You have been out, Pokemon. Just embarrassing.
Now if you're Mike, you just call here. Because there is a chance you're up against a better king or pocket aces. He does call, and we now go heads up to the flop. Mike with a pot-sized bet left behind. 9 of diamonds on the turn. If Huggy shuts it down here, or if he continues to tell the story.
Pikachu.
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
Jigglypuff, Bulbasaur, Squirtle.
Okay, Squirtle.
What's the little one that looks like a little deer dog? Like a dog.
Eevee, 650.
Huggy going to continue
Oh, he's funny. Chase has
telling the story that he has it. It's at 650.
And then Charizard.
Yeah.
If you're Mike, if you were good before, you're still good. If you get to this turn, I think you just have to hold your nose and call off.
Yeah,
Which
kind
is
of an
what we'd
awkward
be
spot.
talking about here.
Yeah. But Huggy was a 3-better.
That's right.
So he's got all the better kings. He's got
He does have aces.
aces. Yeah,
The
it's
thing is,
tough.
there's not a lot of draws on this board, especially ones that make sense against a 3-better.
Yeah.
Like, he could have, like, ace, queen of diamonds. And Mike's going to fold. The aggression will do the job for Huggy. You are beating ace, queen of diamonds. You are beating ace, jack of diamonds. You're beating ace, 10 of diamonds. There's a few combos. That's not a lot, though.
No, I like Huggy's bet, and I like the fold. Yeah, tough spot, especially that with that little behind.
I think if you are going to go that route, I think you need to fold flop.
Right.
That's
Must have got to be any backdoors there.
If you're not going to throw good money after bad, that's also a good thing. Mike did have the backdoor clubs. Huggy did not have any backdoors.
Ace, queen, queen, 10.
But once Mike didn't turn any of his backdoor clubs, then I guess it's just a tough fold or go with it.
Anybody playing the backdoor drinking game is probably unconscious at this point.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Probably should get Uber the year. Yeah. Good luck to you.
he's got his one.
I'm still floored by that king deuce, and I know it happened to him, but wow, that was on the river there.
Yeah, that was some wild stuff. Like Huggy is just on tonight. Caitlin with some queens, 3-betting over Aaron's open. Aaron with the suited ace wheel, and deep enough stack to pot that he could continue here. He's going to do this as a call. And he's going to completely miss this 9-8-6 rainbow flop. Not even a single
Pretty ugly
spade.
flop for queens, though.
Check, check, and the 7 of spades. Like, Caitlin's not wanting any part of this either. Aaron does elect to bluff here. Makes it $100. Half pot, but could certainly get some high cards out of there. Caitlin going nowhere. The king of spades makes it even worse for Caitlin. Downgraded to second pair. Aaron going to fire again. Goes for 325. And Caitlin going to reluctantly call.
Wow.
And will be rewarded.
That was a nice bluff and a nice call. Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Nobody falls.
Aaron's the one who got the 10 there.
Yep. And yeah, sometimes you got to make those tricky calls. But against the player who can bluff correctly, like Aaron can, you've got to keep him honest.
Nice call.
Yeah, if you don't get caught bluffing, you're probably not bluffing enough. We see a raise and a 3-bet with some white holdings here. Zugging downhill. Tangling once more. Heads up to a flop of Jack 10-7, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Doug does have a straight here.
Yeah, he's open-ended. And now he has quads.
Checks out. Downhill does have bottom pair. And we'll fold to Doug's $100 bet.
You're evolving, William. Congratulations.
He treats downhill to a peak. He finds out, yeah, he had the 9 and the 8.
Then we have like the best hand. You gotta wait.
We see downhill stack going downhill as we look at our earnings. Caitlin and Huggy, both the recipients of some monster pots this evening, are big winners. But we still have over an hour to go here on TCH Live. William Lahti, the New York Knit, with you here alongside Slow Poker, one of the best vloggers out there, in my opinion.
Thank you, William.
Definitely the most original.
Okay, I'm in quick, guys.
Like you do something that nobody else is doing. That's like the key thing. If you want to get into the content space, you got to do something that nobody else is doing.
tried to make it 35. It was not enough.
Well, that's when I came up with the concept. It
Yeah, I didn't
was
see it either
I knew I couldn't win on the poker side, so I had to do something a little different.
No, I never even saw her 20. I only saw that. You're not alone. You're not alone. I didn't see it.
So Anderson made it 40 with the
Well, you
A6
should.
offsuit.
I hope you can sleep
And
tonight.
Mike with the A6 suited, gonna go for the 3-bet. I love it.
That's pretty typical.
You and me both.
And ace is a little bit too good to fold in the big blinds. But A6, as we discussed before, sucks. So be aggressive, and it's gonna get the job done.
That's it. What would you like to be on for the mid-play?
What name would you like to be on?
Pullo,
How do you spell it?
pullo,
How do you spell that?
pullo, A-U-N.
I see in the chat people plugging the unofficial TCH Dallas Chat Pro monthly meetup game, next one on the 25th. If you're in the Dallas area, worth checking that out. Get to meet some of your fellow TCH Live viewers. I have no idea where I'm going to be on the 25th. I doubt I make it up there, unfortunately.
You can straddle if everybody else does.
If I'm in the DFW Metroplex on the 25th, I'm probably at the NASCAR race, actually. Now that I think about it, I think that's the same
I've been a
weekend.
part of like the 360 before.
Over on the Fort Worth side of
Nice
the
try.
Hey, I've been part of the 360. Hey, I've been part of the 360. 80's available.
You gotta buy a win sometime.
I've been trying. and I get
Looks like we have the 10-20-40 once again.
I'm pretty dead.
How much is it?
40.
Ace-9 offsuit just folding on the button. Like I mentioned before, sometimes these mega straddles slow the game down. Ace-9 often an open from the button. Caitlin is going to open the King-9 suited. Makes it 125. Doug has her pips with the Ace-9. Calls. Now let's see what Downhill does, because he doesn't like to fold. These look like calling chips. He does call. He does have 2 live cards. I see a jack and a 6 on this very blurry camera. So Downhill just felt it coming, I guess. He's got 2 pair. Easily
Gotta
the best
defend
hand
with
here.
Jack-6 off. It could be worse.
Yeah. It definitely be worse. It checks over to him. He makes it 300. Caitlin does have a gut shot. Not enough to continue, though. Downhill, and a turn over the Jack-6. We see the downside of this hand, though. Even when you smash the flop, as he just did, it is going to be really hard to get paid.
I thought about check raising.
What about check raising? Excellent decision not to there. Definitely would have been stepping in
We're
it.
at that level. We're there.
We're there.
In the last hour yet?
No, get in on the game's good.
We're there. I was like, these fuckers are gonna go.
Yeah, we are coming up on Power Hour here on TCH Live. That last hour of the stream, I think gets a little bit more action-y oftentimes. People looking to get unstuck before the cameras go off. The game does continue afterwards if the players want to keep going, and it's we kept going for a while on Monday. Ace Deuce suited for Mike, makes it 60. Doug with the Steve Dillon #1, the 8 of spades, 8 of hearts makes it 60.
Downhill. It's the only way we go.
Downhill makes it 320. Ace Deuce of his own. Gets him a fold. Doug just folds.
How do you get Jack-6?
I had one of those too.
And he flashes the deuce. Doug instantly regretting that fold, I'm sure.
So let's get
Against the player like downhill, again, I just have to hold my nose and continue there. If I don't want to play out of position, like, I even consider jamming. Like, obviously, like, you're only going to get calls, like, when you're crushed. Like, you could consider re-raising there and denying him whatever equity he has. Because you actually don't mind if he folds 2 overs. We see Punwark as our newest entrant here to seat 5. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm doing my best, and he's going to let the king queen.
I've seen that, yeah.
Not going to call with Jack 3. Downhill going to get a free look at 10-4-4. And downhill with trip 4s because that's how downhill runs tonight. And now Punwark is going to get himself top pair and is going to be on the hook for some money here.
Oh, yeah.
Downhill makes it 30. Punwark quickly calls. 6 of spades is not what he's going to need. So downhill's 4 deuce is going to be good at showdown. He's going to make it 125. He's going to quickly get called and going to show the winner. Jamin Burton in the chat saying, "Let's go, Caitlin." Great to see you, Jamin.
I just mentioned Jamin, and then he appeared.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
yeah,
it's good
we're
of you-
speaking
good of you to
everything
appear.
into existence tonight. And is there anyone else who's
Burton?
Is there anyone else who's poker famous who you would really like to speak into existence tonight?
Well, they don't have to be poker famous. I could conjure up whoever I want, right?
Hey, famous is fine too.
Live or dead?
Dead might be a hard time to get them to show up in the chat.
Fictional or real? All right, let me. Okay, so we got Jamin Burton. We conjured up pocket aces. So inanimate objects, Jamin Burton. I didn't say. Who was it that also showed up? Did you conjure up Christian Soto, or he just showed up?
He just showed up. I did not speak him into existence there.
Okay. I kind of whispered him under my breath, so maybe that was enough.
He's just hanging around. I think the
poker
biggest
famous.
name, I think that one of the bigger like poker names I've had randomly show up was probably like Darren Elias showed up one time on a final table stream. That's probably the biggest I've made show up. As we have a lot of action here. We're gonna have a Texas heads up flop, as our friend E. McKenzie likes to say. We're going 5 ways here. King, Jack, 9, all hearts. So kings and 9s for Amsty. That is the best hand. Somehow nobody has a heart. Doug's got a pair and a gut shot. Anderson with a bad top pair. Amsty does make it 40. And one core is going to be Anderson with the king deuce drawing very thin. Nobody going to love this 3 of hearts. Anderson picking up a ton of chop outs as we go check, check. 10 of diamonds is not one of those chop outs. Amsty's kings and 9s will be best at showdown.
Probably wasn't a good spot.
Anderson making it 125. Rough spot actually for this 2 pair with 4 to a straight and 4 to a flush out there.
No, she had her ace high played. It was a chop.
Oh, she had ace deuce. Oh, I thought deuces, yeah.
No, so no one would realize it.
Amsty really thinking about this. And he's going to fold. Anderson's going to get it done. He's going to show it. You got to show it. We didn't see anybody here with a queen or a 10 of hearts, but if somebody would have had queen 10 of hearts and flopped themselves a straight flush, they would have won themselves some money. We got a promo here going this month. Texas Card House Austin. Straight flush. If you flop it, it's $300. Turn it, $200. River, $100. Royals and steel wheels are double. Must play both whole cards. Additional rules apply. TexasCardHouse.com for complete details on that. And I see Pez in the chat. I didn't speak him into the chat, but here he is. Great to see you, Pez. one of our regs up in Dallas. He hops in the booth sometimes on those final table streams that we have on Saturdays up there. Great to see you. Hope you're doing great.
10 Straddle. I thought that was
The accidental min play.
Ted thinks that we're going to have SpongeBob and Abraham Lincoln in the chat at some point. Fun fact, like when I was in Vegas for the WSOP, I actually did randomly play a sit and go with the voice of Patrick from SpongeBob.
Oh yeah,
That
I
was kinda
just heard that he's a poker player.
Yeah. Gave us a couple of lines. He was a fun guy.
You did lines with Patrick from SpongeBob?
No, he gave us a couple of lines of Patrick.
Oh, I thought you did some rails. Okay.
No. I'm not that interesting of a guy. This flop is kind of interesting, though. We have downhill. What top pair? We have Amsty with a club draw. And the two of them make it to this turn. Four of diamonds on this turn. Check, check. Nine of hearts, so the clubs do not get there. And the 10 will be good for downhill. Who's doing a lot of checking for a guy with top pair. And now Amsty's going to put out the 300. This should be a snap call. The way this is played, yeah, you're just going to call. Good call.
J-Stack, if you're in the chat still, I actually did hear Lahti that time. I know he wasn't really doing cocaine with Patrick from SpongeBob, but I couldn't help myself. I should also say, Jamin Burton was just mentioned recently. I assume all of you are subscribed to Jamin Burton's YouTube channel, but if one of you isn't for some reason, like, get on the stick. It's ridiculous that you're not. It's he's got a terrific poker vlog. So please subscribe to Jamin Burton's vlog.
Absolutely. And so it's your homework. You're gonna subscribe to Slow Poker. You're gonna binge his stuff, and then
subscribe to my channel first. Watch
you're
all
gonna go
my.
through the same with Jamin, and by the time you're done doing that. And by the time you're done doing all that, it'll probably be time for the Saturday final table stream from TCH Dallas, back here on TCH Live, and be sure to join us back for that as well.
As I think the Bible says, all roads lead from Slow Poker to Jamin Burton to TCH Live. By Old Testament, I think it was Genesis. Yeah, Genesis, pretty sure. Sorry, I'm really rusty.
Hey, there's our kings again. This time,
man,
going Doug's way. Makes it 140 over Mike's $35 raise with his threes. Huggy is going to call. What they say to off. That's another spot that's probably played better as a 3-bet or fold. Or I guess it would be a 4-bet. He just cold called a 3-bet because there were 2 raises. Duh. I promise you I know how this game works, everyone. We go 3 ways to a flop. 3 in the window!
Oh, there it is.
Don't think it's looking too good for the Kings this time. Huggy does have the backdoor ace-high hearts. Mike with bottom set, though. Doug with an overpair and very little to worry about here, holding the king of hearts himself.
This could get nasty.
325 from Doug. This should do it for Huggy. This does do it for Huggy. Now, if you're Mike, just call. Just call. Your stacked up pot is 2/3. You can just always call no matter what. Hey, he took my advice 15 minutes ago. He does just call. He has 680 behind, 1077 in the middle. There's, like, if turn somehow goes check, check, he can shove river. I mean, this is no problem. We can put 2/3 pot in the middle. Enjoy your dinner, Jamin. Thanks for dropping by. Be sure to hit like on the way out. Ace of spades, which there's a small chance this saves Doug here. Mike gonna check again. This is the one card Doug didn't want to see because nut heart draws just made top pair. it is a rule that when you have kings and ace inevitably shows up, Doug is going to be all ineffective here, and Mike's going to snap him. Doug looking for a king, does not get a king. Three's full of tens will get Mike the full double up. The kings finally fall, but you know what? Kings are an 80-20 in that spot, like pair versus pair. It's 80-20. So 1 in 5 times you're going to lose, and right there.
They said they're gonna get you.
Oh, yeah.
Bummer when it's you, though.
Wow.
Hey, make a 667. Here. Make a 667.
I mean, I'm not folding.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're calling it in shove on this flop right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, going to get
I kinda
the
thought I was winning anyway.
chips
Yeah.
counted and shipped over Mike's way.
Man, once or twice, and he's boom. I wonder if he were behind. No.
I couldn't have
He
been
couldn't be
behind.
behind.
He's ahead.
He was probably on the draw.
So, any chance you make your way down here to Texas anytime soon?
Yeah, I'd love to. I had a great time when I was down there. I was there in April, I think. And yeah, I had a great time. If it wasn't for those bomb pots, I would have left a big winner. But I just won a little
I'm
bit.
ready to go let my dog out.
That's
Bomb
how
pots
it
killed me.
goes. And if not for X, right? I know the bomb pots will make and break your sessions. Like one of my biggest winning sessions ever was because of 2 bomb pots. There was like one really sick one where I piled $3,000 in on the flops at 2-5.
Wow.
Like I had half the deck on both boards, and then I got there both times. Easy game.
Easy game.
Like they were basically identical flops. I had a wrap, and I had a wrap, and I had a flush draw. And then I assume he had a set. I never saw his cards, but I assume he had a set or a 2-pair or something. And speaking of bomb pots, we've got one right now. $10 POL bomb pot. My video is lagging over here, so I don't see the second board yet.
Well,
Okay. Ace
if you
10
walk into
6,
these-
8 6 3. Let's see.
well,
Mike's
this is
got
going
a
to be.
set of aces.
Mike's got top set, but Punlork has middle set.
A
Is he
set
gonna-
over set on the top side. I see Caitlin with the king high diamond draw and the top 2 on the bottom. So she's going to call the 75 from Mike. Doug with the king 8-7-6. He has top 2 on the bottom. Somewhat weaker. He's going to call. Punlork's going to call up his set here on the bottom. And we go to the turns where my screen's going to freeze up again a little bit. Eventually I'll know what the turns are. A 7 of hearts and a 5. So let's see. On the aces are still good on the top. Caitlin.
Still good with the 8-6.
Yeah, she folds. It looks like. Mike
No,
potted
Doug-
at
Doug-
390. My video is so broken right now. See if
So,
it's better on my
I'm getting the
phone.
name right. So Mike and Punlork are battling over the top board. And Doug is still sitting pretty with the.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Doug,
but-
yeah, I've just seen Doug put in the call on the turn. So he's got the king 8-7-6, which is going to give him the 2-pair on the bottom and the open ender. And
Good
also
fold.
has a gut shot on the top.
Really good fold.
We're going to go heads up. We see now that against Doug, Mike is free rolling. He has the top locked up. A jack and a 4 is going to give Doug the straight on the bottom, the straight to the 8, which will be good enough.
1,000.
No flushes come in. I think I just heard Mike put in a bet there. He made it $1,000. Almost pot.
Just have aces.
He gets called. Mike says, I just have aces. Try to get Doug off of the chop. Mike living a little dangerously there. I mean, imagine Doug just has 9-8. All right, as we continue on here, we're going to look at these VPIPs. We see everyone who's played a reasonable number of hands well above that 15% line.
Get in there with like a halfway decent hand, and then I get like 3-bet and then 4-bet.
Okay.
You see Downhill's played almost half the hands.
Best hand I've seen all night.
Right?
Damn it.
Doug, Amnesty, Huggy, they've all played like a third.
And I got like 4-bet.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hands.
4-bet around.
Yeah.
And for an hour, I think that was like the best hand I saw.
Right.
And now Mike's got
He's
10s.
like, come on, bump out.
Makes it 35.
I was like, please, let's do a bomb.
Yeah.
Change this shit around, right?
Well, it's your game. You make the rules.
Yeah. This next game is called Pay.
Hunwar calls. Huggy with the 4s is going to call. And Amnesty with the ace-queen, he's going to just flat again. It's another spot where you could and probably should just re-raise. 9-5-3 will keep the 10s out front. Hunwar potentially with some trouble with top pair. Huggy going for the lead. Makes it $60. Leads into 3 players. Pretty adventurous here with third pair and backdoors. The ace queen's going to get out of there. I don't think the 10s go anywhere. Seems unlikely. He calls.
I was gonna stack them and then.
I don't think the 9's going to go anywhere.
I don't know what he's representing here.
Neither do I. Perhaps this hands will make the vlog and then we can find out. Relays.
Or he'll just get there.
7 of clubs. So Huggy's the only one who has a club. He does have the 4 of clubs. He does also.
The gutter ball. He'd be a disguised, very well disguised flush and a very well disguised straight.
Yeah, nobody would see the 6 helping him if it gets there.
And that's your answer.
He slows down.
Why he led with a 4? Here it comes.
How about a set of 10s instead? If Mike didn't feel so great, he's probably feeling pretty good now. Hunwar checks. Huggy's going to just give up here. And I think Mike has the green-white to put in a bet. Probably would have heard from something that's beating a set of 10s by now.
Might get looked up by ace-9.
Makes it 115. Hunwar does make the call.
Wow. Man, once they come, they keep coming, huh?
People astounded by that wonderful river.
I'm trying.
So we got to look at these winnings. Caitlin, Mike, and Huggy. All massive winners. But you know what? We're in power hour. I think the straddles are going to get bigger. You get the big straddle, it's a lot easier to play for stacks.
I'm disappointed in chat they haven't criticized Punlord for having such a low VPIP, despite the fact that he just set down 8 hands ago.
Yeah. Get on it, chat pros.
Come on. Look at that VPIP. That's Lahti level.
What a nit. He's so nitty.
Yeah. Come on, let's go. You do your job, chat.
That's my chat pro voice. You like that?
It was nice. Yeah, no, I felt it.
I'm having trouble here. Can you?
So am I. I got my stream just.
I just lost the table. I've lost the table. Okay, so
So someone just flipped quads.
Production is working on it. I don't know if we're on the air. I don't think we're on the air right now.
Chet, can you see the table or
I've got it up on my phone.
Lottie or me? Okay.
Okay, now we're up. We're up. Okay, so it's just us. Apologies for the technical difficulties, everybody. We are having some problems right now. The thing just crashed. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what live TV does when they screw up with the tech, and I'm going to throw it a break. Back after this.
Are you ready for a vacation that will make all your poker buddies jealous? Set sail with Texas Card House for 7 days of sun, fun, and poker on March 26th to April 2nd, 2023. Sailing out of Galveston, Texas, the Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas is one of the most awarded ships in the world. As you sail for 7 days with Texas Card House with stops in Roatan, Costa Maya, and Cozumel. Sun, fun, and oh yeah, non-stop poker. Texas Card House is bringing their world-class staff on board for 7 days of cash games, tournaments, and no matter your skill level, we've got games for you. Texas Card House Poker Cruise, Royal Caribbean, Allure of the Seas. Cabins are going fast. Don't get left in port and miss the vacation of a lifetime. For full details, visit TexasCardHouse.com.
All right. Hope you all enjoyed.
Lottie.
Yeah, hope you all enjoyed the commercial there. Hey, I just got the button to do that tonight, and it was excellent timing.
It was well pushed. Well pushed.
I was just shown how to make the commercials appear, and it certainly came in handy. So,
Lancer 34. I was not actually hammering the guy who sat down 8 hands ago. I was being sarcastic. As someone who gets criticized for low VPIP, I like to make VPIP jokes, but no, I'm not. I know he just sat down 8 hands ago. His VPIP is perfectly respectable for having sat down 8 hands ago.
Yeah, we are obviously we're both being very sarcastic here. Sarcasm is definitely a thing that happens on the live stream streets here on TCH Live.
So is this what we're doing? We're gonna. I think I'm being told by the production booth that Lottie and I are now going to sing a duet from Miss Saigon. Hold on, which are you playing? You're doing this the alto. Hold on, let me hold on.
I just see me in slow poker. So I am currently talking to production. If anybody's hearing what I'm saying there, we're trying to debug the problem. Trying to see what shows up on my screen. I don't actually have. I don't have any hands appearing on my screen at the moment. I think Kristen's going to come over here and going to press some buttons, and we're going to try and get this sorted out. Just a moment here. Say hi to our viewers.
Hi. Okay, wait, Vandergrift, wait, okay.
All right, so the buttons are getting pressed here.
Ragnar, we'll take requests if you want Lottie and I to sing.
Yeah, I think the stream's saying a note or two in the best ends. Yeah, well, I mean, we don't even have the thing here. Like normally, we have the thing there.
Sorry, I'm yawning a little. No, you're good.
I thought you were talking to me. Live TV, folks.
Lance or not, chat pros will always hammer anyone for anything. You know chat pros. Yeah. Everyone knows chat pros. There's always an opportunity to hammer someone for something. Always. Doesn't matter if it's justified or not. There's always an opportunity for chat pros to chat pro. Everyone knows it. I know it. You know it.
Yeah.
Chat pro's gonna chat pro.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of you still hanging with us in the chat, let us know where you're watching from. In the meantime, I mean, hey, you got me and you got Slow Poker here, and I guess we're doing like a just chatting. Yeah, ask us anything you want to know.
Lance or not, you're making a wild assumption. I actually have a background in singing. I actually do. I'm not joking about that one. I do sing. I won't, but I do.
Yeah,
sorry, Dogar.
Never knew this. We learn something new every day. Yeah, I
Yeah,
very much.
to bring it back to poker vloggers. So I was playing cash with Greg Goes All In and Rampage at Resorts World during the World Series, and Greg Goes All In and I have a lot in common. That's actually more in common than you think. But one thing we have in common is we both majored in theater, and we were in musicals when we were teenagers. And so we found out we played the same role in the same obscure musical when we were teenagers, and then we sang a song from that musical in the halls of Resorts World, much to everyone's disappointment, confusion, anger. And so if you go on my Instagram stories and World Series of Poker, Greg Goes All In and I are singing an obscure musical number, love song together. So I know that's what the Poker Chat Pros want is two poker vloggers singing a duet from an obscure musical. So, ask and you shall receive. And check it out on the Slow Poker Time on Instagram. Greg Goes All In and I are twins separated at birth.
Yeah, definitely give him a follow at Slow Poker Time. And if you want to follow along my tournament hijinks at Lahti William at LAHTI William on Instagram and Twitter. Great to have you all here. Like I said, anything you guys are wondering in the chat, we can happily answer these questions. Jedi Master Ted claiming that all musicals.
Fair point, Jedi Master Ted. I agree. I can't really refute that.
Yeah, there's
especially
not
in the
lot
poker
of,
world. I don't think there's much crossover between musical theater and poker. But it's what I did when I was a kid.
And you never know. See, Buffalo's up 17-10. Go Buffalo.
All right.
Yeah. I know that they did pause the action out on the table once the stream crashed. So you'd lose like 15 minutes worth of hands at most once we get back on the air. Hopefully not a lot of power hour activity there. Yeah, so while I'm trying to fill time, I'll remind you all the broadcast schedule here. Texas Card House, we have 2-5 from Austin every Monday. Dallas is our big game Tuesday, 25-25-50 usually. 5-5-10 or 5-10-25 on Wednesdays from Dallas. Thursdays here in Austin, usually 5-10. Sometimes we do a special show like the 2-5 tonight. I think we have a special show with John Party next week in this time slot next Thursday. So it should be a good one. Every Saturday we have the final table from Dallas, and worth checking out. Like if you haven't seen last week's show, we made a highlight of the last hands. It was a pretty dramatic one. All the pain of tournament poker in a 2-minute clip. Tournaments can really be a ride. Like, how many tournaments have you played?
Me?
Yeah. How many tournaments? Just the one?
I mean, I played one World Series tournament. Otherwise, the other ones are all like neighborhood tournaments. Just home games. But yeah, no, just one real tournament.
One at the series and some dailies. Hey, it took me forever to exist on Hendon Mob, which is like where the bigger tournaments get tracked. So like it took me like a good 6 or 7 trips on the road to get a cash that counts. And like now, I've racked up dozens of them. Like you sort of get that momentum going. I definitely felt all the pain of tournament poker when I was up in Tulsa the other week for the circuit. I was 2 cards away from winning a ring.
Wow.
Owen Pre, I had ace queen. He had king queen. The flop was kind of annoying. I can kind of feel it coming right then and there. Queen 3-3. Like, okay, he has chop outs. And then he drills the king on the turn. FML.
Yep.
Okay, so I am being told that unfortunately we're not going to be able to get this show resumed tonight. So we're going to cut it short. Thank you so much for being here, Slow Poker. Once more time, subscribe to his channel. Watch his vlogs. They're great. Slow Poker. He's even got the merch. So Yeah, it sounds like the problem was on our side, but that's unfortunate. Again, thanks for being here. Sorry we couldn't give you the complete show, but it was a wild ride. The parts that we saw, they were a wild ride. Props to Mr. Anderson for putting the lineup together. Thanks again for being here. Thanks to our production staff, our dealers. And on that, William Lahti, the New York Knit, wishing you a good evening. Thanks for being here. Hit like on the way out, please.